I've just seen the dates on there. They're not back on her, are they? Huh? Kevin said it was tentative, but I've just seen the dates on there. What do you mean the dates? You know the graphic with all the World Cup dates? Are they all wrong? No? I just don't know why they're on there. Look.
As you can see, the beautiful downtown Shepparton, the lakes, the fountains, a lot of these little cattle about town, known for the cattle and dairy industry here in Shepparton. Beautiful town,
Yeah.
lake, right in the middle of the town. Be a festival tonight, actually.
Definitely a hub of manufacturing and agriculture here in Shepparton, in the state of Victoria. We've been blessed with glorious weather this weekend here at the first two rounds of the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup, and the response and the welcome we've been given by the people of Shepparton has been absolutely fantastic. So a beautiful venue, a beautiful city, nice, chilled out and relaxed, just what you'd expect from Australia.
I will say, though, if you're wondering where the people are, it is hot. It is hot. As we head into the 16th finals for elite men, then after that, the women will join in on the show beginning at the 8th finals, into the quarterfinals, then the semifinals, and then the main events, the finals at 16-15. Fourth or better, we'll keep you going. As we were saying, it is very hot. Sunny and a 35-degree Celsius temperature with the wind blowing at 21 km here on this Saturday, February the 1st, 2020.
Yeah, it's a nice fresh breeze. It's not too much at the moment. And there's your stand-ins from 2019. Nick Kimman taking the win overall in the series. Alfredo Campo and David Graff rounding out the top three. Jeremy Rancarel in 4, Sylvain Andre in 5, Roman Mayu in 6, Joris Dode in 7th, and Gonzalo Molina coming through to round out the top 8.
The Women's World Cup standings, number 1 at the top, Laura Smulders from the Netherlands, followed by Felicia Stansel, Elise Willoughby, USA, 2 and 3, followed by Natalia Afromova in 4, Manon Valentino, 5th. And that will all change as we are into a new season here, 2020, here in Shepparton. We round it out. As you can see, the view of the track, pretty much perfect. I mean, every edge. The turns not as steep as previous turns that you might have seen at other World Cup venues, so that's going to make for some interesting racing, as might be a little bit more slippery. I think these turns, although they are concrete, they ride a little bit more like a traditional BMX dirt turn, so you may see some riders sliding out and losing traction. Makes the racing all the more tactical and strategic.
Yeah, definitely a perfect looking BMX track here in Shepparton and Victoria. It looks absolutely superb. It really is a good looking BMX facility. There is the overview. We're on the 16th finals for the elite men. After this, they will transfer through, 4 go through to the 8th finals. That is the next round of racing here at the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup round number 1.
See him at the top of the hill. There's your elite men. 16th finals. Top 4 will keep them in the program. 5th or worse will send them back to the hotel room or their camper van or home. David Graff, Asuma Nakai, Kai White, Rago Richard, Van Kamen, Tween, Cardoso, and Joshua McDermott. Heat 1. As they get locked and loaded, young Kai White, number 5, he'll be coming out of lane number 3 with the Swiss rider David Graff on his final season. The number 7, David Graff, will be coming out of lane 1. We are ready to go. Down the hill they go. Asuma Nakai off of his pedals right off the bat. Kai White with a good first straightaway, but not quite as good as David Graff as they go into the first corner. Graff, White, 1 and 2 with Van Kamen, I believe, in the 3rd place position. But Graff keeping it low and composed down the 2nd straightaway. Kai White in tow, taking the high road in that 2nd corner, wanting to give himself some room to make a run at it. It's going to be Graff, White, Van Kamen, 1, 2, and 3. Can't get a read just quite yet on 4th place. They're so far back, but it's going to be Graff, Van Kamen, White, Rago Richard getting in that 4th place position.
Yeah, Asuma Nakai was looking good going into that 2nd turn. He got pushed up high, and he's ended up off the track, and his day has ended with him walking back to the finish, looking a little bit sore. Let's hope he's all right for tomorrow. As we move on to heat number 2 of the 16th finals here in Shepparton, in the state of Victoria in Australia. Corbin Sherrard, Roman Maye, Niles Bensink, Babris, James Palmer, Marzalek, Ponomarev, and Wade Turner out of Australia. One of the local crowd favourites.
Just getting in there.
Just getting in there. Corbin Sherrard, the national champion of the USA, on the inside with Roman Maye right there next to him. And the 12 plate belonging to Niles Bensink. He's in lane number 3. Alrighty, we are locked and loaded for heat number 2. Heat number 2 gets underway. Corbin Sherrard on the inside, looking like he's got a great start, and he's going to leave him into turn 1. Maye's in there as well. And look at James Palmer, 1/2 of Coffee Chatter. He's in there inside the top 3. So Palmer in that 3rd spot at the minute, chasing down Maye. And Corbin Sherrard, who's got that 4th spot. It's looking like, I think it's Babris actually, or Marsalek. Sorry, Marsalek out of France, coming under pressure though from Babris. And those guys are fighting for that final qualifying spot. But it is in and out of the final turn. Corbin Sherrard, oh, 2 riders have gone down. That's really mixed it up. Let's have a look. Palmer through in 3. Bensink goes through in 4. So Marsalek went down, I think, with Babris. They were battling away for that final spot. And it all went pear-shaped as they came out of that last turn.
Babris just running out of track. Marsalek trying to make a move. Bensink, the benefactor, getting that 4th place position.
So all action, Jason.
All action as we head back up to the hill for heat number 3, 16th finals. McLean, Klashenko, Tizar, Dalnan, Clerte, Sciortino, Butti, and Bernhardt. Joshua McLean, Australian, one of the favorites, I have to think, in this moto, in this heat. Klashenko, Rock and Roll Cole Tizar, number 34 from the USA. Simba Darnan, the big Frenchman. Coming out of lane 4. Heat number 3. Let's see if Rock and Roll Cole can make something happen. Klashenko looks like he's shut down out of the start. McLean with a clean start. Clarté on the outside. So it's going to be McLean, Clarté. Think we lost Rock and Roll Cole Tezar as we see a rider in white. Not sure who that is. We'll get a read on them coming out of the second corner, but it's going to be McLean, Clarté, Bernhardt, and Sciortino. So not sure what happened to Tezar and Darnon, but they look like they are done for the day, as it's going to be McLean and Clarté 1 and 2, Australia and France as they head to the finish line, followed by the German rider Bernhardt and the Italian of Sciortino.
Yeah, there was a big slide out in that first turn that claimed 2 or 3 riders. Definitely Cole Tezar caught up in that one, so unfortunately, even those slippery conditions now, Cedric Bouty in that one as well, all went down in that first turn. So even the guys, as they're carving round at such speeds, the traction's not there, it's disappearing from underneath them. Klashenko just crossing the line. Massive disappointment for him. But luckily everybody rolling away unhurt. Probably just frustrated more than anything else. Heat number 4. Oh, there's your confirmation of your results. McLean,
Clarté, Bernhardt, and Sciortino, 1, 2, 3, and 4 as we head back up to the hill.
Now we're on Heat 4. Connor Fields, Renato Resende, Nicholas Torres, Christos Kriegers, Jay Shippers, Trey White, Yukiya Yoshimura, and Tatsumi Matsushita. Got 3 national champions in this heat. Resende, Torres, and Kriegers. Heat number 4, gate drops. Looks like Connor Fields on the inside. Renato Resende got a very good start as well. Trey White trying to work his way in from the outside. He's back there in 6 at the minute, so he's got a lot of work to do. Might have to rely on some problems in front of him to work his way in. Fields, Torres, Resende. And that looks like the Dutch rider in there in 4th. That'll be Jay Shippers. So Shippers holding on to a qualifying spot. The minute being chased down by the Japanese rider. But the Dutchman looking good in that 4th spot. Here comes Resende. He's looking for a position. Can he work his way into the 2016 Olympic gold medalist? Connor Fields taking it to the line. He's going to go through. Torres in 2, Resende in 3, Shippers in 4. And Trey White's day ends with an 8th.
Definitely a tough break for Matsushita. White and crew as the official is Fields, Torres, Resende, Shippers, Yoshimura just missing out. As we're going to keep it moving in heat number 5, Dean, Smith, Ramirez, Furlan, Arboleda, Molina, Racine, and Seegers. Let's see what Anthony Dean can do coming out of lane 1, the double 4, going straight to the front with Smith, the USA rider, just on the inside, on the outside of him, excuse me. It's going to be Molina finding himself in a bit of trouble in that 4th place position, but it's going to be Dean, Smith, 1 and 2, Arboleda looking good in that 3rd place position. Dean casing the jump going into the 2nd corner, managing to hold on. So Dean and Smith, followed by Arboleda. Arboleda wanting more. We'll see if he goes for the whole. No, not the whole enchilada. He's going to stay in 2nd place. It's going to be Dean, Arboleda, Smith, and Molina.
Great lap there from Anthony Dean of Australia. He'll be keeping the local fans very, very happy with a result like that. Let's see if he can take it to the main event a little bit later on. As Heat 6 is up next. There's your result from Heat 5. Dean, Ramirez, Smith, and Molina going through into the next round. Heat number 6 contains the following riders: Krzyzewski's, Renkarel, Katishev, Blanc, Yamaguchi, Fantoni, Simon Marquardt, and Kyle Hill of Australia. Heat number 6 of the 16th finals here in Shepparton. Krzyzewski's all in black on the inside, rocking that 2-3-2 play, but he's going to have his work cut out with Jeremy Renkerel right there next to him. And look at Simon Marquardt heading for turn number 1. That's a great first straight from him. He's leading it through. Renkerel looking good into that. Looks like another Swiss rider in there in 3. That might be Renaud Blanc. And it looks like the all in black rider Krzyzewski's working his way into 4, but coming under pressure from the 909 of Katishev. So it's going to be a big fight for that final qualifying spot into the final turn. Moves being made. Can he make it happen down the final straight? Might have just left himself a bit too much to do. Krzyzewski's is going to miss out on that top 4 position. Katishev took it. Marquardt in 3.
Probably the most solid lap I've seen by Renaud Blanc in a long time. And that's saying a lot because he always puts in a lot of solid laps. But wow, what a great start and what a great finish by Blanc. Marquardt having his back in that 3rd place position. There was a lot of moves in that last corner. There's your official Blanc, Renkerel, Marquardt, and Katishev edging out Yamaguchi for the final position. Looking at the hill, we see Mayhew, Vandenberg, Nagasako, Michael Bias, Isaac Kennedy, Gargaglia, Palominos, and Bradley Game just getting in there from the last chance qualifier. This is heat number 7 coming at you. Number 100, that'll be Romain Mayhew. Next to him is Big Dave Vandenberg from the Netherlands. Look of intensity in Romain Mayhew's eyes as they go down the first straight, but on the outside, looks like Isaac Kennedy with the heat as he wins commandingly to the first corner. Let's see if he manages to stay up. In and out of the first corner is going to be Kennedy, Mayhew, 1 and 2. 3rd place, not sure who that is. We'll get a read on them. That's going to be Bias. Thank you, Rich. So Bias in 3rd place. That's going to be a good ride for him if he can get through. Kennedy, Mayhew checking over shoulder. Baez leaving it open. So now it's going to be Kennedy, Mayhew 1 and 2 right next to each other. Nagasako and Baez just getting in there.
Yeah, big disappointment there for Dave Vandenberg of the Netherlands. Ended up in 8th. That won't be the results he was looking for. Good to see Michael Baez and Isaac Kennedy inside the top 4. And there you are, Mayhew, Kennedy, Nagasako and Baez going through to the 8th finals. Heat 8, Alfredo Campos, Sylvain Andre, Kyle Evans of Great Britain, Anthony Baccardo, Joris Harmsen, Julian Schmidt, Philip Schaub and Jace Cunning. Kyle Evans there on the 211 in gate number 3, next to his good friend and competitor, Sylvain Andre. Well, there's enough watts in those first 3 gates to light up a small town, and let's see if he can light up this first straight. And it looks like Alfredo Campo, Sylvain Andre, and the Dutch rider getting in there as well. That'll be Joris Harmsen. Where is Kyle Evans? He's back there in about 4th and 5th. Oh, he's worked his way into 2, so he's had a solid first turn. Looked like he'd blown it down that first straight. So Andre, Evans, 1 and 2, Schaub in 3, Cunning in 4. Looks like there's going to be a big mix-up because the Dutch rider Harmsen doesn't look like he's going to make it in at the moment. Andre, Evans, they're going to go 1 and 2. It's just a case of who's going to get 3 or 4. The German rider Julian Schmidt's going through as well. Sorry, Schaub it was going through. Jace Cunning making it through for Australia. So that's a real mix-up. Well, things are getting very busy in these 16th finals, Jason.
Busy early on, that's for sure. Disappointments already with Harmsen and Vandenberg finding their way out of qualifying positions. They're in the 16th finals. There's your official Andre, Evans, Schaub, Cunning, Ricardo, Harmsen, Campo, Schmidt not making it. That is unreal. And very early in the day for all 4 of them to not be getting all the way through. As we go back up to the gate, it's going to be Kimmin, Sakakibara, D'Souza, Turkelson, Milano, Molina, Ikegami, and Tomizioli. Nick Kieman in lane 1, Kai Sakakibara in lane 2. Let's see what happens. Anything can happen in the world of BMX. Looks like Sakakibara finding his way into 3rd, possibly 4th place, jumping into the first corner. Low line. We'll see. He's going to swoop under Kieman. Good line by him. Sakakibara may have ridden this track a couple times. Definitely making use of that corner. It's be Sakakibara, Kieman, Turkelson, 1, 2, and 3. Looks like Molina, I believe, in 4th, but 1, 2, and 3 definitely spreading out. Sakakibara staying greedy, though, staying onto that first corner, or I mean that first place position. It's going to be Sakakibara, Turkelson, Kieman, and Molina getting through. What a ride.
Yeah, it got very interesting in that first turn again. Riders sliding out and going down in a heap, including... Let's have a look. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4 riders going down there, including Tomazzoli of Italy. And Molina, I think it was as well, he went down in a heap in that one.
Too. Anderson D'Souza out for the day. Disappointing for him.
Can't see that first turn getting any grippier anytime soon either.
But how about Sakakibara taking a low line to pass Kieman for the first place?
He's got confidence in his tyres.
I guess, or did he reveal something too soon? Jefferson Milano crossing the line.
So the mix-up already starting here in the 16th finals. As we wait for heat number 10, which will contain Hughes, Pelloard, Villegas, Long, Brescian, Isidore, Freiswick, and Nathaniel Rodway. I think Anderson D'Souza had decided he was going to go back to the stands without going through the finish line. They've sent him the opposite way. Shaking his head. There's always tomorrow. There are your results. Sakakibara, Thurkelson, Kieman, and Molina Vergara. Your top 4 going through to the 8th finals. Heat number 10 lining up. Hughes, Pelloard, Villegas, Long, Brescian, Isidore, Rodway, and Freiswick. 3 Australian riders in this one.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Looks like Vincent Pelloard with that unorthodox start position. Looks like he's got a great one though as he heads down towards turn number 1. And it is the Colombian via France. He's leading it out. He's in the lead at the moment. Vincent Pelloard, that looks like Andrew Hughes in there in 2. Brescian in 3. Where is Quillan Isidore? He's back there in 5 at the minute battling with Villegas. So Villegas trying to work his way into that 5th spot. That looks like Freiswick in there in 4. But the Colombian / French rider still leading it into the final turn. Pelloard, Hughes 1 and 2. Brescian, I think it is, in there in 3. Looks like Quillan Isidore's day is over. He's out in 5. Freiswick taking that final qualifying position. All action, Jason.
There's your official Pelloard, Hughes, Brescian, and Freiswick, Isidore, Villegas, Rodway, and Long done for the day. We're going to head back up to the hill for heat number 11. Bodie Turner, Pillard, Heil, Carnes, Webster, Rosa, Boyton, and Mitchell Schotman.
And Boynton, both of Australia, and from the Netherlands, it's Mitchell Schotman.
Best 4 riders from each heat qualify for the 8th finals.
Set! Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
747 of Bodie Turner off to a late start coming out of lane 1, but he should be okay if he manages to hold on to his position and take advantage of being on the inside. So it's going to be Turner finding himself stuck, back relegated into 4th place, battling it out with the German rider. It's going to be Arthur Pillard taking it to the front. I believe Rosa or Carnes in 2nd and Turner, Webster in 4th. So Turner finding himself into 3rd place, Pillard with a nice lead in 1st, and Carnes, the French rider, bringing it on home for the win in this lap, followed by Carnes, Turner, and Webster.
Yeah, really nice to see Bodie Turner back on track, back on the World Cup scene, working his way through to those 8th finals. That's the kind of return you want, and there is the official result. Pillard, Kearns, Turner, and Webster all going through. Mitchell Schotman out in 7, Shane Rosa out in 8. So some real mix-ups there, Jason, in the 16th finals.
Definitely some mix-up. The next time we see the men, it will be the 8th finals. Again, we are in single elimination round. 4th or better will keep you in the hunt. 5th or worse will send you home packing. We're moving on through the program. Action's picking up. Next up, Women's Elite, 8th finals. We have 6 heats of the best of the elite women BMX bicycle racers in the world.
This afternoon, we're going to have a little bit of stuff going on for you as well in the arena now.
And heat number 1 of the elite women. Get himself set up and ready to go. Including one of the hometown heroes, Saya Kakibara. She'll be looking to give those Australian fans something to cheer about later on.
And it's made for some exciting results going into the quarter-finals and the 8 finals for the men and ladies.
We kind of haven't thrown any predictions into the mix, have we, for this particular round, Jason? You got any ideas on who you might see on the podium?
Or
Just for today, just for this round.
Okay. Women, since we are on the women's, I believe there will be Netherlands, USA, and either Colombia and Australia on the podium.
Okay.
Men, I will actually go with USA, France, and either Australia or Netherlands on the podium.
That's a good call. I think for elite women, the podium will be Netherlands, USA.
You have the same call as me.
France.
Whoa!
I'll go France.
Okay.
And then for the elite men, Australia, USA, France. Notice I haven't put the Netherlands in the men's
You did
one.
not.
I did not. That's
But
a controversial
I'm
prediction.
really impressed with both Corbin Sherratt and Connor.
Yes, they're having
Fields.
some good laps today.
Yes.
They really are. I think we've got to have at least one Australian on the podium today, I think. Because if the fire's not in your belly for a home country World Cup, it's been a long time since we've been to Australia. 2008 and 2009, I believe.
Wow, that is more than 10 years.
Adelaide, both won by Mr. Donnie Robinson.
Donnie Robinson.
The elite men's side.
Wow. Donnie Robinson, what a great BMX racer, huh? He was, ever since he was a kid, all throughout his career.
And I believe David Herman's won a World Cup here as well.
David Herman, yes. I remember him as well. We've actually raced against each other before. That's how far back that's going. If you are just joining us, welcome. I'm Jason Richardson here with Rich Eames, and we are here at the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup in Shepparton, Australia. Round number 1, the beginning of the 2020 BMX season, and the I don't want to say the beginning. We're not in the beginning stages of qualifying, but in the midst of qualifying for the Olympics as well.
Yeah, that's definitely going to ramp up the pressure a little bit as we head towards Torrey.
So we're here with Swiss Olympian David Graf. David, you announced earlier this year 12 more races this year. Tell me about it. What led you to that decision?
Well, it's always in small sports I say, but it's a niche sport, so it's always like you count in 4-year cycles. And I'm turning 31 this year and probably not going to make it to 35. And then Swiss Cycling offered me a job as a national coach, and took the opportunity and decided to, well, still give it all for Tokyo and then switch roles, yeah.
Knowing that you only have 12 more races left, does it feel nice to know it's your last year and you just go all in, or what's the feeling like? It's a unique situation.
Well, so far it's still quite normal. It's still far away, like it's still 12 races left, or 11 and a half. But yeah, it's a new venue too, so it doesn't really get emotional. But when you race the last time in Papendal or the last time in Manchester or whatever, it's gonna be a special one, I think. Yeah.
What's something beyond anything else that you want to accomplish this year, and so you can look back on?
Well, just do my races as I did last year. I did 8 out of 10 mains last year. Was really consistent on that one, and then just didn't really get the results I was hoping for in the mains. I had 2 podiums, one I've almost cleared, and yeah, hopefully do a little bit better than that in the mains. But first you have to get there, so we do that first.
What's something that you've been able to improve every year? Because it gets harder as you get older to keep evolving. So I think that's really impressive that you've been able to keep evolving throughout your career, even as you've gotten older.
Yeah, I think I've been quite good at being extreme, and that in some situations it hasn't worked out. And in training philosophy, it helps maybe because I'm just putting it all on one system and then just ignoring what I've done before. So it's kind of switching it up a lot. And yeah, I think that's something I did in the past. When I felt like I want to do something new, I really put everything on that new and ignored what I did until then and just risked it. And so far I had quite a success with it.
So obviously you've had a lot of experience in your career. You're a veteran now of the sport, been on the World Cup Series a long time. What's something you would tell a younger David Graff coming onto the circuit now with all the knowledge you have?
Treat it more professional, I think, and that's something the young guys now do because they get in really professional teams early on with the national teams. And yeah, I had a really good mentor with Roger, being probably the first real professional BMXer out there that really took everything serious and went to his full potential. And I definitely didn't do that for a while. I enjoyed the ride, enjoyed the BMX life, and I wasn't focused that much. And on the other hand, well, you can start that with like 17, 18, 19, and don't do it with 12 or 13 years old like some kids do right now. So there is a fine line going professional early, but just keep in mind that if you want to do this on the highest level, you got to put something in and not just enjoying the ride.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for stopping by, David, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Back to you.
Some insight there from David Graff.
Yeah.
Coming to the end of his professional career, and he's certainly kept us entertained all the way through it.
Definitely. And 12 races, you know, with a season like this, meaning that it's an Olympic year, it's going to feel long. So, but we can discuss that more as we go listen to our sponsors.
Happiness. It's hard to define, but sometimes it just comes over you. When you finally dare to take that step and overcome your fear. When you find yourself in one of those magical moments you wish would last forever. When you feel so good, you have to let it out. When the beauty takes your breath away. When you can't resist joining the game. When your wildest dream becomes reality. When you embrace everyday life and the pleasures it offers. When you're out there sharing an unforgettable day. Happiness is as simple as a ride. Ride and smile.
This is a great place to grow a business. I'm Charles Woolley, and this is Greater Shepparton. Fertile land, fresh water and sparkling sunshine yield great results. It's the nation's largest dairy industry, exporting to China and Southeast Asia. Fresh fruit makes its way across the country and around the world. The fresh place to grow your business is right here. Greater Shepparton. Great things happen here.
Shepparton, show me the fun! Shepparton, show me the fun starts here. Ride Shep's bike trails. I play, you play, we all play. Go big on our mini golf course. Yeah. It's a fun planet with go-karts. Go bowling, strike it lucky. Our lake's full of fish. Rock in and scoop up an ice cream. Race in and see real race cars. Check the Shepparton Show Me website and let the fun begin. Shepparton Show Me, the fun starts here.
The high country is now really renowned as the destination for cycling. Having grown up in the area, did you always have that threat of fire and were well aware of it?
This summer we've had horrific bushfires, and having people come back, and it'd be good to see the trails getting filled up and the roads getting filled up with cyclists again.
So the ride that we've done today, that's a road ride that I know pretty well, but you're famous for being a world champion on the mountain bike. You've got to take me off-road.
Yes, we've got Mystic Mountain Bike Park here and then 6 other amazing locations.
I'm on the Buddha Bowl, you've got the pizza, you've got the beer, but my preference is wine. What are my options?
There is a whole trail you can follow to tick off all the breweries of the area. Also the King Valley, famous for the winery, so there's something for everyone.
This is one of my favourite destinations. I'm coming back in Easter. Hopefully lots of other people come back as well and support the locals.
Cheers, mate.
Well, we are back.
Well.
And the more I see those little commercials for the Shepparton area, the more it makes me want to come back again and again.
Yeah, they look fun.
Certainly I could enjoy a bit of cycling and a few beers. So Shepparton definitely promoting itself as the place to be. And
Well, in truth, Richard,
yes,
we are enjoying cycling now.
We are.
And nothing's keeping us from enjoying a few beers later on. In truth.
In truth.
In truth. And if you are just joining us, welcome to the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup here in Shepparton, Australia. Round 1, the beginning of the 2020 BMX season, and in the midst of qualifying for the Olympics in Tokyo.
Do you think, Jason, from a professional rider's perspective, as you once were,
long time ago,
if you were in a position now where you were aiming to qualify for the Olympics and you were at this point in the qualification cycle, do you think that the pressure is starting to ramp up now, or do you think it would be later in the season, the closer we get to like the World Championships and that kind of thing?
It depends how secure I am in my qualification position.
Okay, so you've got the likes of Nick and Laura, who are probably
They're in.
pretty much set to go.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're on the cusp, you're in a team like the French team or the Great Britain team.
But I think the French team, yes. So the French team where they have maybe 6 guys, only 3 are going, and yeah, that's definitely a lot of, could be, yeah, that's definitely a lot of pressure for sure. Because every race counts and you're watching your teammate, I'm using air quotes, you're watching your teammate do well or not do well, and you want to make sure you get your spot. So it definitely can get, I'm not going to say stressful, tense is probably the best word.
Yeah.
Probably tense. So, and you know, some people I don't want to say are protected, but yeah, they kind of know they're in for their respective country. Some countries are on the bubble. I believe Australia, they definitely will have an Olympic spot. The question is, will they have 1 spot or 2? But there's 3 riders who, Sakaki Barra and Isaac Kennedy and Anthony Dean, who are all capable of going. So if they only get 2 spots and there's 3 people going for it, well then that can create a tense situation for yourself.
Yeah, and then also from a nation's perspective, especially if you're kind of outside of the top 2 and you're battling with other countries for like a 2-spot berth, like Great Britain and Colombia are, that must be equally stressful because you're almost relying on teammates' results to kind of signify whether you're going to get one of two spots or whether you're going to get a single spot.
Right, right. But then, you know, so between these World Cups and the World Championships, and the third factor, which is each country has their own criteria for selecting riders, there's all kinds of pieces in play. I mean, there's a lot to juggle there. So, you know, these races, you're going to see certain riders be strategic about where they put their energy. You're going to see some people riding panicked. You're going to see some people backing off. You're going to, you know, it's going to be a very interesting year, to say the least.
Yeah, so it's Grandmaster's chess and 1,000-piece jigsaw all rolled into one.
Yes, it's 1,000 pieces of puzzle of blue sky.
That's some jigsaw. Be interesting to see how it all pans out as we go through this condensed season, because obviously everything has to be done by the end of May. The World Championships are at the end of May, and by the time that's done and finished, the qualification scenario will be finalised. So the pressure's coming, but it's also coming in a condensed time frame.
That's right.
Which kind of adds to it as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how this pans out. You couldn't get this level of drama on HBO or the BBC.
No, Olympic season, or the Olympic seasons, have all proven to be filled with drama. That's for sure. So I'm just glad that we're on this side of the drama.
Well, it's a lot less pressure, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So just going back to David Graff's interview. We are back trackside here at Shepparton in the state of Victoria in Australia. Got a beautiful overview there of the facility here, groomed to perfection. Just looking at some action from the earlier rounds. Alfredo Campo and Isaac Kennedy going high and low into that first turn, just a variation of lines. Alfredo unfortunately going out in the 16th. Isaac Kennedy still involved at the moment. And those riders out front in that particular round, but unfortunately for Alfredo it didn't pan out later in the day.
Remember the top 4 to go through to the next rounds.
Josh McLean, David Graff. Always in contention, not only to get in the main, but to get a podium. Just noticed David Graff has one red shoe, one white shoe. That's kind of cool. Joshua McLean looking very strong this weekend.
You'd be pleased to know David Graff's got an identical pair of shoes somewhere else at home.
I'm sure they're probably in his bag in the pits. There you can see there's some drama and carnage in the first corner. The first corner, a bit slippery.
Yeah, the slide outs in the turns have been quite pronounced. Even the elite men being able to take that wider line. They've not been immune from people hitting the deck. As Roman May opens up a fairly substantial lead there and works his way down that second straight. Shane Rosa back there in 4. And Mr. Vincent Pellouard in that second position. I am intrigued with Vincent Pellouard's gate form.
Why is that?
He leans really far back and his front pedal is actually quite low. So, yeah, definitely an unusual one, but certainly one to watch. It works for him.
Mr. Corbin Shura lighting it up. Kai Sakakibara, earlier rounds, taking it straight to the front early on.
Mr. Federico Villegas as well. He's been quietly going about his business today. One of those guys, I think he's almost like a little bit of a sleeper. He could just pop up at any time and, you know, create some kind of situation where he could work his way in to a semi or a main. Carlos Ramirez and Eddie Clerté. Battling away there. That looks like Liam Webster in there in 3.
Eddie Clerté actually almost going off the track.
Yeah.
Just noticed that.
He's uncharacteristically sketchy on that particular moment.
Yeah. Vice World Champion for the Pump Track Series, Eddie Clerté. So, Women's Elite 8th Finals coming up. Taking a little bit of a break, so the men had one extra lap with the 16th final. So I think from here on out, they're going to be, the men and women will be synced up, so we can bring you more racing at once. As we go up to the hill, you can see the women, the best and brightest, sitting on top of the hill. As we see the top of the list: Sakakibara, Bao, Vaughn, Petch, Tucksher, Claessens, and Ojkinova. That's Heat 1, Women's Elite 8 Finals.
So here we go, start list for your Elite Women, Heat number 1, 8 Finals. Sakakibara.
There's a name I'm not familiar with on the middle of that list, Delaney Vaughn from the USA.
Delaney Vaughn, that's right. Young, but definitely one of the up-and-comers in the U.S. and worldwide, getting her experience. And we're up. We're official. Heat number 1, Women's Elite 8th Finals.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Down the hill they go. Judy Bao with an uncharacteristically bad gate as Sakakibara goes straight to the front, followed by Petch. Sakakibara taking it to the sky a bit too, looking kind of smooth and confident, going in and out of the first corner. She goes down the second straight, looking to extend her lead into the second corner. Petch in second place, followed by Claessens, and Vaughn, the young American, looking to make it to the quarterfinals and possibly even the main event. Sakakibara, though, running away with it, looking like she's looking to get a lap record. We'll see what her time is as she crosses the line. 36.119, followed by Petch, Claessens, and Bao. Sakakibara looking quite confident during that lap.
Yeah, Judy Bao's start wasn't the best. I think she was aided by Dana Tucksher of Canada, just having that problem in the first turn, and just made it easier for her to come back and take that 4th spot. Zoe Claessens had a great lap as well. That was good to see. As we get the official results, and Seiya Sakakibara taking the win, Rebecca Petch in 2, Zoe Claessens in 3, and Judy Bao confirmed there in 4. Heat number 2 of the women's 8th finals. We've got Mariana Pajon, Laura Smulders, Dewey Abuta, Sarah Walker, Shania Howell, Priscilla Stivo, and Manon Veenstra. So Sarah Walker was telling me this morning that she's finally, for the first time in her career, got an 8-meter hill to practice on. It's out there in Rotorua in New Zealand.
Awesome.
So let's see if that extra practice is going to pay off. Definitely looking very, very breezy at the top of that 8-meter hill, and Sarah Walker looking like she got a decent start, just caught the backside of that jump there, and that slowed her down not once but twice. But it's Laura Smulders heading into the first turn in front. Mariana Pajon in there in 2, just trying to pick up the rider in 3 at the moment. That looks like Shania Howell. So she's in that 3rd spot. Here comes Sarah Walker, just trying to get inside there in that 2nd turn. So Smulders, Pajon, Howell, Walker, that is your top 4 at the moment. And Laura Smulders still midway through her winter preparation phase. Doesn't look like it's causing her any problems at the minute, because she's out there in front. Mariana Pajon, the queen bee of BMX, she's chasing her down. She's going to get the 2. Sarah Walker in 3, and Shania Howell of Aruba going through in 4.
Howell putting in some impressive laps, maybe outsmarted by the veteran of Walker, but there's your official: Smulders, Pajon, Walker, and Howell. I think Shania Howell with some more experience is going to be a formidable opponent. Next up, we have Bondarenko, Mayer, Bentham, Peterson, Shriver, and Jan.
Shriver of Great Britain and Liu of China.
Yaroslava Bondarenko in lane 1 for Russia. Camille Mayer coming out of the gate, puts an elbow into Bondarenko. Doesn't seem to matter too much, but it's going to be Shriver taking it to the front. Shriver, Bondarenko 1 and 2. Shriver, Bondarenko, Van Bentham in 3rd place. 4th place, we'll get a read on her in just a moment. It's going to be Peterson. Shriver running away with it. Bondarenko not letting her run away with it, excuse me. Bondarenko looking to make a move on the outside going into the last turn. So now it's the Russian Bondarenko followed by Shriver as they bring it into the finish line. Bondarenko, Shriver, Van Bentham, and Peterson.
Yeah, Bondarenko making that move down the 3rd straight. Do you think in a situation like this, Jason, it's actually wise to maybe burn a few matches a bit earlier, just as your results come up? Bondarenko, Shriver, Van Bentham, and Peterson.
I think Bondarenko was thinking she wanted to have best lane choice as possible.
That's fair comment. Moving on, heat number 4, Caroline Buchanan of Australia. Nice to see her back on the World Cup scene. Lauren Reynolds, Erin Lockwood, Axel Etienne from France, Na Peng from China, and Peyton Ridenor from the USA.
See, now, Rich, you were asking me earlier about qualifications. This could be one of those tense moments as you see 2 Australian riders both qualifying for country and self.
Yes. And side by side on the hill.
And side by side on the hill.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So we've got 2 Aussies on the inside in heat number 4. Let's see how this one plays out. Looks like Lauren Reynolds got a great start, but Axel Etienne of France looks like she's got a better one. She's going to lead it into the first turn. Reynolds in there in 2. Where is Caroline Buchanan? Back there in 4 at the minute and coming under pressure from Erin Lockwood. So Axel Etienne out front. Lauren Reynolds in 2. Here comes Caroline Buchanan working her way into 3. Peyton Ridenor, I think, is getting shuffled back into 4, but it's France out front. Still coming under pressure now from Lauren Reynolds. Lauren Reynolds taking the lead into that final turn. The crowd will be going absolutely mad for this one. Lauren Reynolds is going to take the win in this 8th final. Where is Caroline Buchanan? She's in there in 3. Peyton Ridenor in 4. The 2 Aussies go through. Erin Lockwood in 5. But what a lap from Lauren Reynolds.
Lauren Reynolds, great lap. That's your official Reynolds. Etienne Buchanan and Ridenor are the youngest, technically a junior, making it through. We're going to go back up to the hill. We're going to see Christensen, Tano, Afremova, Priest, Stancil, and Dudu. Remember, Stancil getting in from the last chance qualifier. Simone Christensen winning the World Cup in Manchester in 2019. I believe that was day 1.
It was day 1.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Down they go. Christensen on the inside, but looks like Afromova is going to take it to the front. Or actually, Stancil on the outside. Christensen, don't know what happened to Afromova. I think she did not get over one of those jumps down the first straight very clear. We have a rider going down in the first corner. Another slide out. It is very slippery in those corners. It's going to be Stancil, Christensen, Dudu, and Afromova. Afromova, fourth place. Last qualifying position. We'll see if she can hold on to it. Christensen with a little bit of an overjump in that third straightaway. Wondering how the legs are feeling. This might be feeling like a long track for some of these riders. Stancil, Christensen, Dudu, and Afromova. I think with these turns not being so steep and banked, you have to ride a little bit more careful. So a little bit more braking than usual, stop and go in these corners.
It was Konami Tano who hit the deck. Nadia Priest came out of a pedal as well as they entered the corner, so that made her life a little bit more difficult as well. So she'll be done for the day as the Japanese rider heads across the line. Need to give a little mention to Saya Takayama as well, who's unfortunately out injured at the moment. Just want to wish her the best for recovery. As the women elite results pop up, Felicia Stancil, Simone Christensen, Matilda Dodu, Natalia Afromova, all going through to the quarterfinals. Heat number 6, Brooke Crane, Manon Valentino, Elise Willoughby, Ruby Hausman, Natalia Suvarova, and Vanessa Buldinska of Latvia. Brooke Crane there on the inside, riding a very pretty pink signature frame. Now we know Elise Willoughby was on fire in the earlier rounds. Let's see if she's going to bring it to the fore again, and yes, she does. The world champion Elise Willoughby of the USA being tracked down by Brooke Crane, but she's already opened up a 3-bike-length lead. Willoughby, Crane going 1 and 2, Manon Valentino in 3, but it's all about the USA in this one. They are 1 and 2. Who's got that all-important 4th spot as they enter that second turn? Looks like the Russian rider. That will be Suvarova. So Suvarova in that final qualifying position. Ruby Hausman chasing her down that 3rd straight. I think she's left herself a bit too much to do. Elise Willoughby, Brooke Crane, USA 1 and 2. Elise has a quick glance behind just to see who's there. She's going to take the win. Brooke's going to get 2. Manon Valentino in 3 and Natalia Suvarova going through in 4. Elise Willoughby definitely bringing the horsepower.
Great ride by Willoughby and Crane for the USA. There's your official Willoughby, Crane, Valentina, and Suvarova just getting through. They will move on to the quarterfinals. And that about does it for the 8th finals for the women. Next time we see the women, it will be the quarterfinals. Best 4 keep you in the hunt. Best 4 riders from each qualify on.
Please remember to stay hydrated, get some hats on, get some sunscreen on as well. Stay out of the sun where you can.
Next up, Elite Men, 8th finals. Already had some disappointments in the 16ths. Pressure's mounting. It's definitely getting warmer up there as we are looking at our temperatures, seeing some umbrellas, and it's not because rain's coming, that's for sure. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you're tuning in here at the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup, coming to you live from Shepparton, Australia. Australia known for putting forth some great BMX athletes on a world level. Kaylin Young, the Warlock, Warwick Stevenson, Anthony Howie Way, Natasha Williams.
Yeah. Luke Medill.
Luke Medill.
Who's now transferred over to the UCI as a technical
Wade
delegate.
Boots. Wade Boots.
Here's one from the past, Kamikaze.
Kamikaze. That's right. Well, hopefully they are tuned in and watching. I know Wade Boots and Luke Medill are definitely watching as they have athletes here that they are coaching. So, a long legacy of great Australian BMX racers.
Certainly our Aussie BMX fans are getting into the spirit of things. Spectators of all ages enjoying the action here in Shepparton. Nice breeze, just taking the edge off the heat, although it is still very, very warm.
Elite men coming up in about 3 minutes or less. Hopefully for the I'm voting for the or less.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing some hot laps being thrown down.
Yeah, because checking out the weather forecast, I think we're due some thunderstorms just after 4 p.m. local time. So I'm sure we'll be keen to get through the action before the inevitable weather change.
Connor Fields looks like he has the fastest lap from the previous round at 32.923. No other rider from the previous round has gotten in that 32-second mark, but for Connor Fields. David Graff next with a 33.135.
Looks like the guys are all up there, just waiting for the instruction to line up on the gate. Connor Fields in heat number 1. He's going to be racing his training partner, Max Kearns, or part-time training partner.
It seems like that whole training group is doing quite well.
Yeah,
Fields
absolutely.
and Carnes and Isaac Kennedy. Here we go. Start list. Fields, Carnes, Palmer, Blanc, Evans, Bias, and Bensink.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to your seats. Eyes up to the start gate as we get ready for the men's one.
See if Kyle Evans, the Spider-Man, can make this one stick.
Supercross World Cup Tour here in Shepparton, Australia. Top 4 to go through on the gate.
Some of the best in the world are on this gate.
Max Cairns, Australia. Palmer is there with Renault Blanc. Evans and Bias from New Zealand, and from the Netherlands, Niels Benson.
We're ready to go.
Random start. Riders ready. Watch the gate.
We're official as they're off to a good start. Looks like Connor Fields going straight to the front early on. Evans in second. Palmer in third place, the Canadian. So it's going to be Fields, Evans, Palmer, 1, 2, and 3 as Max Carnes finds himself in fourth place. Oh no! Riders down. Looks like Graff was caught up in that as well. Bias and Bensink, the benefactors, as they find themselves in third and fourth. Going into the last corner, Connor Fields, followed by Spidey himself, Evans, then Bias, and Bensink. That second straight, really mixing things up. The riders having to check up, meaning slow down, because they're going so fast for the length of the jumps. And I think it just causes some traffic. All it takes is for one person to overjump something or underjump something, and then
yeah, I think that's what happened there, because James Palmer had a problem. If you look here, look, he's completely out of control. Oh, how Kearns, oh, how he got away with that, I have absolutely no
Palmer
idea.
came out of his pedal before
Yeah.
he took off.
And Kearns didn't half hit the face of that jump with a wallop. A lot of people wouldn't have got up from that one. Renault Blanc caught up in the action as well. But good to see Max Kearns rolling away. He might have a gigantic headache in the morning, but he's certainly rolled away from that one. Let's look for the official results, and there they are. Connor Fields, Kyle Evans, Michael Bias, and Niles Bensink all making their way through to the quarterfinals. Next up, heat number 2. Lining up David Graff, Renato Resende, Noah Brescian, Kai Sakakibara, Kai White, Gonzalo Molina, and Alexander Katishev. Some serious horsepower on that gate.
Molina 6 and Katishev in 7.
This is heat number 2 of the 8 finals for the elite men. David Graff on the inside, charging down the straight, but look at Molina working his way across. Where is Kai Weiss? He's in the back of the pack at the moment, back there in 7th. So the rider from Peckham BMX Club has got it all to do. Graff out front. That looks like his countryman Noah Breschen in there in 2. So the Swiss rider's going very, very well. There's a big shuffle on at the back of the pack. Molina still in there in 3. Here comes Renato Rezende of Brazil trying to work his way into that 4th spot. The Swiss are going 1 and 2. Kai White's made a move. He's gone high-low in the final turn. Can he make it stick? No, he can't. Molina 3, Rezende 4, Sakakibara. That is a shock with him going out in 5. Disappointment for the Australians, Jason.
Disappointment for the Australians for sure during that one. Just too much traffic, not enough time. The official graph, Rashawn Molina. And next up, Pilar, Dean, Hughes, Ramirez, Webster, Cunning, and Turkelson.
Little magician Webster, Cunning, and Turkelson.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Pollard in lane 1, Dean in lane 2. We'll see who has it going down the first straightaway. Looks like they're 3 abreast. Looks like Dean getting a great pump off of that backside in the second jump. First straightaway finds his way in front. So it's going to be Dean, Ramirez, Pollard. Dean, Ramirez, Pollard, Webster finding himself in 4th place. He might be in trouble, though. Anthony Dean, though, looking quite poised as he heads into the last corner, followed by Ramirez, the Magician. The Magician pulling up alongside Dean. Pollard with the 3rd, and Webster with the 4th.
Yeah, the action's certainly hotting up here on the track here in Shepparton. Riders definitely getting faster there as a result. Dean, Ramirez, Pilar and Webster confirmed as going through to the quarterfinals.
For many years, since 2009, he goes 33.309.
Heat number 4. Lined up, containing Corbin Sherrard, Joshua McLean, Zachary Van Kamen, Simon Marcotte, Mathis Rago, Richard, Roman Mayu and Eddie Clerté. So the French well represented, with Joshua McLean being the sole Australian in this particular lineup. Got himself a good position though in there in gate 2. Let's see if he can make it pay. Did not get the snap that he wanted. Van Kamen got a good one. Corbin Sherrard on the inside. Here comes Roman Mayu from France. Eddie Clerté's on the outside. Nice pick-up manual into that turn. So Roman Mayu looking good. 2 French riders inside the top 3 at the minute. Corbin Sherrard looking comfortable into the Swiss rider. That's Simon Marcotte working his way into 4. Joshua McLean in 5 for Australia. Can he pull it back down this straight? Corbin Sherrard in there in 2. Roman Mayu working his way away from this one. He's got himself a 2-bike length lead. Mayu, he's going to take it. Corbin Sherrard's going to get the 2. Who's going to get 3? It is Eddie Clerté with Marcotte. Photo finish with Joshua McLean for that final qualifying spot. Let's see who got that one. McLean had an atrocious start. Oh, he's just missed out. Mayu, Sherrard, Clerté, Marcotte confirmed as going through. But a great lap for the Frenchman.
Next up, we have Pelluard, Maye, Turner, Freiswig, Smith, Nagasako, Bernhardt, and Molina.
From Australia, Smith, Nagasako, Bernhardt. From Chile, it's Molina Bagara. And from Australia, Corey Frischbeck.
We're official. Vincent Pelluard in lane 1.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
Down the gate they go. Looks like Smith straight to the front. Pelluard looks like he's looking for that 2nd place position. Maye going from 3rd to almost 2nd place. Looks like he's going to do that. Throws his weight around. Finds himself in 2nd place. Nagasako in 3rd, but Smith running away with it, or looking to run away with it. Smith, Maye, Nagasako, and Molina, 1, 2, 3, and 4, going into the last corner. We'll see what happens, as 4th place is never safe in single elimination. There's a wreck in the last corner. Not sure who's going to make it out of that. I think Pelluard might be the person to pick it up. Smith, Maye, Nagasako, and Pelluard.
Yeah, Bodie Turner was trying to make it happen in that final turn, and there was a coming together. You know, riders hitting the floor. I think it was Molina. And on the 181, Turner just ended up 5th. Here we go, Lucky went down. And that led to the Colombian rider getting in there. That was Vincent Pelluard, who benefited from that particular piece of action. And you can see Turner shaking his head as he came across the line. Smith, Maye, Nagasako, and Pelluard confirmed as going through to the quarterfinals. As we move to the last of the 8 finals. Torres, Andre, Shippers, Kennedy, Sharp, Renkerel, Ciotino, and Nick Kimmen.
Shippers, Netherlands, Kennedy, Australia, Sharp, Germany, Renkerel, France with Scortino, and Nick Kimmen of the Netherlands.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So we've got Nick Kimmen in his familiar position of gate number 8 and Renkerel out there in 6 as well. So the horsepower is on the outside and Nick Kimmen making it pay into turn 1. That's Isaac Kennedy in there in 2. So the Australians are going to go wild for their rider. Who's in there in 3? It looks like Sylvain Andre. Sylvain Andre in 3. Jeremy Renkerel back there in 5 at the minute. He's going to have to make some moves. He's just worked his way past Torres into 4. But Nick Kimmen of the Netherlands got this one by the scruff of the neck. In and out the final turn. Isaac Kennedy just sat there on his back wheel. Is he going to charge down the final straight? Kennedy's looking for another position. Didn't quite get it. Andre in 3. Renkerel in 4. Great lap from Nick Kimmen. And a solid one from Isaac Kennedy as well.
Isaac Kennedy looking very consistent, very composed out there. There's your official Kimmen, Kennedy, Andre, and Renkerel.
Andre, world champion 2018 in 3. Renkerel, world number 4 last year in 4. Torres of Argentina just missing out in 5. That was a stacked gate.
Next time we see the men, it will be the quarterfinals.
Until we make our way through to the next round. 15 minutes until your next.
We have about 15 minutes to the next round is up.
We'll see you back here in 15 minutes. Thank you.
And the next time we see the elite women, these will be the quarterfinals, moving through to the semis. That's next up for you. As the action gets as hot as the weather. Just looking back at some earlier action, Connor Fields there, taking the whole shot in his 8th final. Kyle Evans just there behind him in 2. Going well.
Yeah, Connor Fields looking really solid. There's James Palmer and spectacular dismount. Solid lap by Connor Fields. Kyle Evans.
David Graff. A perfect, picture perfect pickup manual. Wow, couldn't say that very often in quick succession.
Picture perfect pickup manual.
Yeah.
A lot of traffic in that second corner. So we're going to go for the rider's corner. Maybe get some insight with Tori Nyhawk.
All right, we're here with world champ Tuan Van Gant. Tuan, unfortunately you're injured. Tell us what happened.
Well, it was like 2 weeks ago in the gym. Had a good session, like the whole good winter. I was my preparation for the World Cups here, and did the squat clean with like 150 kilos. Yeah, I know. Like I train more or less heavy most of the time. Yeah, so I did a squat lean, and I under it, didn't feel good, so I jumped out. And when I jumped out, my elbow hit the knee, and the weight was still on the wrist. So, and then I popped torn 3 ligaments and broke some other bones. It's more the ligaments, so they put the wires in my hand to keep the scaphoid in place because it's flipping at the moment. They reattach the torn ligaments, and the metal has to stay in 8 to 12 weeks, they say. I want to have it out in 6, and like don't really balance my wrist anymore after. And then I want to have it out more early because the surgery force it. But I already had the surgery then done, and basically, if everything goes really well, I will be back in Manchester.
So recovery-wise, these next few months, what does it look like? You know, day to day, obviously you can't have a normal training program, you can't go to the track, but there's a lot of stuff you can do. And what are you going to do mentally to stay in it and stay positive?
Well, I'm lucky to it's the hand, so the engine, the legs, I can work on that still physically, and it will be like a lot of creative solutions. I have a watt bike at home. I probably will fix a brace there where it supports my elbow, so I can do like full-on sprints. That's the thing I want to try out when I'm home. First week, I've already talked with a few guys who are really ingenious and creative like myself sometimes, and I try to do whatever I can to be as fit as possible for Manchester as quick as I can.
Well, the sport misses you. We miss the world champ. We hope you get back out there soon and enjoy the racing this weekend.
What are your predictions?
Thanks for stopping by, Twan. Back to you guys.
Well, Twan Van Gent certainly making the best of a bad situation, and that is the sign of a champion, Jason.
Yeah, and Tori got let off the hook. Twan asked him what his predictions were, but they cut to us.
We'll get his predictions out of him later on.
We will.
Let everybody know tomorrow.
That's it. If you are just joining us, thank you. We do appreciate it. We are here at the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup in Shepparton, Australia. Round number 1, beginning of the 2020 BMX Supercross World Cup season. On our way to Olympic qualification as well. All kinds of things going on. That is for sure. So I didn't realize Twan injured himself weightlifting.
Yep, that's correct.
Wow.
I mean, that must be massively frustrating because you're not even on your bike when you get hurt. To injure yourself that badly doing, I mean, obviously Twan goes heavier than pretty much anybody else. He makes, most of the gym rats in the world look positively weak, but, in a situation like that where you've got a loaded bar and your elbow gets caught on your knee and all the impact goes through your wrist, I can't even begin to think how bad of a mess that must have made.
Seemed like a pretty rough injury. But young gentleman by the name of Kai White injured his hand or wrist not too long ago, and he looks to be pretty well healed up.
Yep. I think it's just the timing of an injury like that. You're just coming into the start of the 2020 season, and as Twan said, he's got the ability to kind of create solutions that are going to keep his engine going. He'll be doing stuff that won't kind of impact on his arm injury. So he'll be doing leg presses in the gym instead of squats and that kind of thing. So there'll definitely be a situation where he can continue to kind of develop his strength and endurance and things of that nature, and like I said, keep building the engine, as he said. But
looks like they're doing a bit of track maintenance as well. There might have been a divot in the track, so I think they're repairing that, so there's no surprises. Well, at least surprises from the track.
Yeah. Certainly the track here at Shepparton looking absolutely prime. It's certainly a very beautiful facility. Looks like we're going to have a chat with some of the organisers here. Well, whatever that maintenance is, it's certainly taking a few bodies up.
Before we knock it into our last of our finals and get a little bit closer to the pointy end of the day, I'm here with two local legends right in front of their very wall. The Shepparton BMX Club has got a wall of world champions, and two of them are right here with me. I got Levi Collins and Gian Renato. How you doing, boys?
Yeah, good, thanks, man. Yeah, not bad.
All right, big question. We are standing in the middle of the UCI BMX World Supercross in an Olympic year in the little old Shepparton. All right, how's that make you feel? Come on, Levi, I'll let you go first.
I was pretty proud to bring it to Shepparton, a little old town, and have everyone come to Shepparton, ride our track that we've worked hard and put our whole life into pretty much to get it to this level for these riders to ride at, yeah.
Yeah, it's an awesome effort, mate. Council, club, everyone doing their thing. And Gian, I'm looking at this 2017 in the US, 13 boys world champion. You remember the final?
Yeah, I remember pretty well.
Did you own it, mate, or was it like close?
I had it, yeah.
That's what we like to hear, man. But for you, what do you think? You dreamt of maybe racing in something like this when you're a bit older?
Yeah, I always dreamt of it when I was a younger kid, but yeah.
Have you had any involvement with the club, just watching the track develop like this?
Yeah, well, a couple of years ago, we were down here training under, for little handmade light, and now we're here for fully world-class facility, so it's amazing, really.
Yeah, look, it's great for a club to actually come back, recognise people that in the club that have gotten to literally the pinnacle of what this sport has to offer, and that is a world championship. So congrats, guys. I hope you're super proud. I would be if someone had slapped my name. We will sort it out, Levi. I understand, mate. It was the 25, 29, 20-inch. Brother, I know 20-inch has got that little bit more sort of, a little bit more sort of pride to it. So we'll get that fixed later. I got a Blake texter. So it's all good. So we'll get back to some music and some racing, and they only get faster from here, folks. Thank you to Greater Shepparton.
So, that's cool. Two local guys went out into the world of BMX, came home with some World Challenge titles. That's awesome.
Yeah, you've always got something to look back on and be proud of.
Yeah, it's nice the club honored them.
We are back here at Shepparton BMX Club in the city of Shepparton, Australia. Just awaiting the start of the Elite Women quarterfinals, coming up very, very shortly for you. I'm Rich Eames with my co-commentator and good friend, Dr. Jason Richardson.
Hi, Rich.
Hi, Jason. Enjoying some of the best action that UCI BMX Supercross can offer on a great facility in some of the most glorious weather. Certainly wouldn't get this in Manchester in February, Jason, that's for sure.
No, not this warm in jolly old England right now.
No. Divide the temperature by 5 and you still wouldn't be there. But our crowd looking nice and happy and content at the minute. even if a little bit sunburnt, as we go back and look at some of the earlier racing. Connor Fields and Kyle Evans showing the rest of the pack the way to go.
Over jump by Palmer to an unclip. He did a pirouette in the air and took out 2 guys with him.
Yeah.
But Connor Fields and Kyle Evans running away with it.
Still can't believe Max Kearns got up from that crash and walked away.
That's amazing.
Oh. And James Palmer was riding really well up to that point. He'd had some great laps today. So here's a question as we watch David Graff. Is he going to get his win before the end of the season?
I would say he just may. I think the odds are pretty good that he'll do that.
I think knowing that you're coming to the end of your career can actually give you that extra boost, because it's like, I've got to get it done.
Anthony Dean. Looking strong.
Battling away there with Carlos Ramirez, Arthur Pilard. Kind of catching me out a little bit because Arthur Pilard's not wearing his French jersey.
Yes.
Whereas Roman May definitely is. He's looked very smooth and in control today. Looked absolutely on point. It's May who's in control that particular lap.
So just 3 races left now for these ladies, should they wish to go all the way through to the final round.
And lining up on top of the hill is the first of the quarterfinals for
go.
Elite Women's.
Back to some racing action.
Saya Sakakibara, Yaroslava Bondarenko, Beth Shriver, Judy Bow, Felicia Stansel, and Shania Howell. 6 riders in these quarterfinals. 4 will go through to the semis. The other 2, they are done for the day. And there's some serious speed in this one.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
So Felicia Stansel of the USA is on the outside of this one. Bethany Shriver in the middle, looking like she got a good start. Saya Sakakibara on the inside. Here comes the Dutch rider working her way in as well. That'll be Judy Bow. So Bow in 3, Shriver in 4. Where is Shania Howell? She's back there in 6 at the minute, being tracked down by Yaroslava Bondarenko. So the Russian just on the outside looking in, but she's going to try and work her way past Bethany Shriver. Shriver hanging on to that 4th spot at the minute. Saya Sakakibara checked out and gone. She's going to lead this one into the final turn. Felicia Stansel in 2, Bow in 3, Bow holding on. Shriver though under pressure from Bondarenko. Can she hold it to the line? Is she going to do it? Yes, she is. Beth Shriver through in 4, but all the pressure coming from Yaroslava Bondarenko.
Definitely disappointing for Bondarenko for sure. Your officials, Sakakibara, Stansel, Bow, and Shriver moving on to the semifinal. We're going to go back up the hill to heat number 2, where we'll see Willoughby, Petch, Claessens, Buchanan, Van Bentham, and Natalia Afremova.
Willoughby, USA, Buchanan, Australia, Afremova, Russian Federation's classes from Switzerland.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Let's see what happens. See if Elise Willoughby is going to take this one to the front as she has all day. Looks to be the case. Buchanan looks like she's stuck in the pack just a bit because Petch is in 2nd and Afremova is in 3rd. Willoughby going down the 2nd straight, legs moving super fast, spin to win as they say. Willoughby all by herself, followed by Petch, Afremova, Claessens now. Buchanan finds herself in even more trouble. It's going to be Willoughby, Patch, Buchanan looking to make a move in the last corner. We'll see what happens as they cross the finish line. It's going to be the number 1 of Willoughby, followed by Patch, Afromova, and Claessens beating out Buchanan.
Yeah, that is a shot. Caroline Buchanan of Australia looking to start her Olympic qualification process with a bang, and it's not gone to plan today. She's out in the quarterfinals as Willoughby, Patch, Afromova, and Claessens go through.
As is that youngster, Zoe Claessens from Switzerland, Buchanan missing out.
Heat 3. Up on the Kings, it is Brooke Crane, Natalia Suvarova, Simone Christiansen, Mariana Pahon, Sarah Walker, and Bernita Peterson.
Colombia, Walker, New Zealand, Peterson, Latvia.
So Mariana Pahon towards the outside of this particular game, even though there's only 6 riders. She's out there in 4, Simone Christiansen next to her in 3, Natalia Suvarova in lane number 2, and Brooke Crane on the inside. Good thing with having 6 riders, gives you a little bit more room to manoeuvre as you go around the track. That certainly won't be the case in the next 2 laps.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Women's quarterfinals, heat number 3 underway and leaving the gate. That looks like Mariana Pahon with a great start. Sarah Walker on the outside. She's going to work her way into that second position. Brooke Crane on the inside. So is Brooke Crane going to be able to hold that line? Yes, she does. She's worked her way into 2. So Pahon, Crane, Christiansen on her way through. That's Walker getting shuffled back into 4 now. Can she bring it around? Oh, here comes Natalia Suvarova trying to steal the position as well. Suvarova up into 4 now. So it is Pahon, Crane, Christiansen, Suvarova, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sarah Walker out in 5. That'll be big disappointment for her, but Mariana Pahon, that was a great lap from the Queen Bee of BMX.
Yeah, Pahon just lit it up. Impressive ride by Brooke Crane as well, going for the gutsy move in the first corner, getting underneath Christensen. There's your official, Pahon, Crane, Christensen, and Suvarova. They will be making it to the women's elite semifinal. Up on the hill, we see Valentino, Reynolds, Smulders, Etienne, Ridenauer, and Dudu.
Etienne of France, Ridenauer, USA, and Dudu from France.
We're official.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Manon Valentino coming out of lane 1. XL Etienne on the outside with a great first straightaway. Smulders relegated to 2nd place right now. It's going to be Etienne. We'll see. Oh, almost with a little bit of a slide out on the front wheel. Etienne, though, laying down the power, followed by Smulders. Reynolds in trouble. She's shopping in 5th place. Keep an eye out on her as Dudu is in 4th place and might be in a bit of trouble. Smulders closing the gap on Etienne. Etienne having problems with the 3rd straightaway all day. Now Reynolds going from 5th to 3rd in a great move. So it's going to be Etienne, Smulders, Reynolds, and Valentino. Dudu and Ridenauer out.
Yeah, Lauren Reynolds drawing on all her experience there to make a move in that final turn and to get from that 5th spot into 3rd, into a qualifying position. That's confirmed there. Etienne, Smulders, Reynolds, Valentino. Your top 4 Dodu out in 5. Peyton Ridenauer, a learning experience for her in 6.
Next time we see the women, it will be for the semifinals. There's only 16 women left, 8 fit on the gate. So, things are getting crazy out there.
Most definitely. Elite men, quarterfinals coming up. That will transfer them through to the semi-finals as we get towards the sharp end of the afternoon here in Shepparton. As the clouds start to drift over this facility here. Still lovely and sunny and warm though. Looks like our crowd here still enjoying the action. That gentleman on the left, I think we saw him on the way in earlier on. All the younger guys taking the opportunity to get themselves on the big screen here. Just going back to some of the quarterfinal laps for the elite women. Seiya Sakakibara. Two standout riders today, Jason, for me. Seiya Sakakibara and Elise Willoughby.
Yes, I would say so.
Both flying. It was a nice battle between Bondarenko and Beth Shriver. Down the final straight with Beth just holding it to the line. Very nearly catching Judy Bow at the same time.
Yeah.
We will look at this, Elise Willoughby.
All by herself early on, huh?
4 bike lanes clear into the first turn. And looking smooth and in control at the same time. Rebecca Petch put in a decent lap together in 2. Zoe Clayson's just quietly going about business. I think she's going to be a star of the future for Elite Women BMX.
Rebecca Petch has been to the front of the pack all day as well. Very consistent down the first straightaway. Starts.
Here's Mariana.
Some great replays from the action of the...
Oh, looked like Sarah Walker had unclipped at that point. Maybe that's what slowed her down. The things you see on a slow motion replay, Jason.
To be a fly on the wall. Here we are, men's quarterfinals, Heat 1. Connor Fields, Kyle Evans, Jeremy Smith, Corbin Sherrod, Liam Webster, and Niels Bensink.
USA, Jeremy Smith, as well as Corbin Sherrod, Liam Webster from Germany, and Niels Bensink of the Netherlands.
Connor Fields still the fastest on the track today. Going down the hill, all off to a clean start. Looks like Smith and Fields. Fields going straight to the front, followed by his countryman Smith. Where is Kyle Evans? Looks like he might be in 3rd place. Yeah, there he is as he peeks into the screen, pulling away from Sherrod. That's very hard to do. So it's going to be Fields, Smith, Evans, and Sherrod. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Sherrod might be in trouble though, as he has some heat on him. Looks like Sherrod is now in 5th place. It's going to be Fields, Smith, Evans, and Bensink.
Yeah, Niles Bensink going really, really well. He had some luck in one of the earlier rounds. I think he benefited from one of the pilos, but that's certainly, you know, a straightforward top 4 for him, and he's worked his way. I think that's his first ever Elite Men World Cup semi-final that he's in, along with Evans, Smith, and Fields. So a great day of racing for Niles Bensink. As we look at quarterfinal 2 lining up, David Graff, Carlos Ramirez, Sylvain Andre, Jeremy Rencarel, Gonzalo Molina, and Vincent Pellouard out of Colombia. That's your lineup for quarterfinal heat number 2 of the Elite Men here in Shepparton. The UCI BMX Supercross World Cup, round 1 of 2020. All right, let's take a look and see how this one plays out as they go down the hill. Oh, there was a touch of elbows between Graff and Ramirez, but it's not inhibited Graff in any way, shape or form as he leads into the turn. Looks like Andre's just ducked under the... Oh, Vincent Pellouard, I think, has hit the deck. That's his day well and truly over. Unless it was the other Colombian rider, Ramirez. It was Ramirez who took the tumble. Pellouard's in 3, so Graff, Andre, Pellouard, 1, 2, and 3. Not sure who's got that fourth spot. It looks like Molina because Renkarel's turned off the turbochargers. He's just cruising through to the finish. Graf, Andre, Pelloard, and Molina going through.
So David Graf ticking the box.
Jeremy Renkarel's day is over. And Ramirez going down in that also slippy turn.
Columbia. That was certainly another.
Let's take a look at the replay.
There's the slip out there.
And it just disappeared. There's no warning, it's just gone. And Renkarel got pushed up the turn, and he knew he wasn't going to be able to bring it back from there.
There's your official graph. Andre, Pelluard, and Molina. Renkarel and Ramirez done for the day. Moving on through the program, we're going to see Keenman, Dean, Clarté, Marquardt, Nagasako, and Maye. Anthony Dean opting for lane 1. Nick Keenman opting for lane 8. This will be the first time we've seen that this season. Let's see if picking lane 8 can work. Nick Keenman looks like he's off to the good start from the outside. Anthony Dean right there with him, but it looks like Keenman's going to edge him out just a bit into the first corner. It's going to be Keenman and Dean. Keenman, Dean, Nagasako in third place. We're going to get an ID on fourth. Might be Clarté. It's going to be Clarté in fourth. So Keenman, Dean, Nagasako, and Clarté 1, 2, 3, and 4. Barring anything catastrophic, that will be how they finish. 4 up. What you see is what you're going to get. Dean with a little bit of a bobble down the last straightaway over the tabletop. Doesn't affect him too much. It's going to be Keenman, Dean, Nagasako, and Clarté. 2 go down. Marquardt and Maye.
Give him a round of applause for that.
Marquardt's walking away, albeit a little bit gingerly. That's probably going to hurt in the morning.
6 riders side by side. Imagine what it's going to be like going into the semis when we're going to have 8 riders side by side, all of the same caliber. This is bicycle motocross at its very, very best. Simon Moquet of Switzerland is up. Number 179. Let's give him a round of applause as well. These guys are built tough.
Crossing the line. Obviously there's the tangle somewhere in the part of the second straight. Turns both down. There is
Two now to their last quarterfinal. It's Keenman, Dean, Clarté, and Nagasako confirmed and through to the semi-finals. Heat number 4 getting ready to lock and load here for the final quarterfinal. It's Pilar of France, Freshen from Switzerland, Resende, Brazil, Kennedy, Australia, Bias, New Zealand, and Mayo of France.
Pilar on the inside there.
Riders ready, watch the gate.
This one a nice mix of power and style. This looks like he's only got a little bit all the way down the front straight.
Get to the pointy end in the semi-final. Kennedy hit the turbo about 3/4 of the way down through that first straight. We are see over we go. Coming back up towards the 6 surface corner into Shepparton. The 100 machine's got the best of
He's got it all to do down that third straight. Resende looking good in that fourth spot at the moment. Mayu out front, followed by his countryman. Isaac Kennedy, all bias looking to go for the win. Couldn't quite make it stick. Looks like it's going to be what you see is what you get. Mayu, Pilar, Kennedy, Resende going through bias in 5 and no aggression in 6.
So it's Kennedy again getting through and getting done what needs to be done as he makes his way into the next round. That'll be the elite men's.
So that's the end of your elite men quarterfinals.
There's your official Mayhew, Pilar, Kennedy, and Resende.
France, Australian, Kennedy, and from Brazil, Resende.
Resende having a quietly productive day.
I think that's a good way of describing it. The next time we see the elite men, it will be semi-final time, and then they will be making their way into the final.
The Shepparton Association will be joining us out on track. A big welcome to them.
Things are winding down. Next time you see some racing action, we all see some racing action, will be the Elite Women semifinal. See some awesome racing action in 2020, but I got to tell you, 2019 was amazing. Was an amazing year as we started off at the National Cycling Centre in Manchester. What do you think, Rich?
Well, Manchester, the home of British BMX, it was always going to be a big one for the British crowds, and it was a French 1-2-3 on that first day in the elite men category. Simone Christiansen taking a maiden World Cup win, followed by the two Dutch riders, and the belief there in her face as she stood on the podium with Joris Dode.
Day 2 saw David Graff looking to go for that first World Cup win, but Kai White, the young, bright Kai White, getting his first World Cup win in front of the home crowd. Followed up by an amazing elite women's main as we see Elise Willoughby sliding out, and then Manon Valentino triumphantly crossing that finish line in first place. And there's that podium. Winners are grinners for sure. Then we headed to Papendal. The sun was shining, went from one of the shortest tracks to one of the longest tracks of the season. Sun was shining bright, fans were in the stands. As we had day 1, it was Keeman just showing us that he owns that track for sure. Then we go to the
Dode and Kimmin.
Yep.
I think this was the
main event.
The main event.
Dode with a great start, but Keegan again showing ownership of the Papendal Supercross track as he gives the fans what they want to see.
Yeah, I think we can safely say that Nick Kimmin is the king of Papendal, but Judy Bauer was the queen on this particular day, just pipping Elise Willoughby out the line.
Edging out Elise Willoughby, so Elise Willoughby sliding out in Manchester, then getting edged out in Papendal. Then on day 2, getting edged out on the 3rd straight by Laura Smulders. So just a triumphant Dutch domination at the Papendal World Cup.
Yeah, it was definitely what the Dutch fans wanted, and they totally got their money's worth. Before we moved off to Paris, the capital city of France, and Saint-Quentin-en-Yvelines, home of French cycling, where the French crowd were equally as happy and as vocal as the Dutch crowd were at the round before. Nick Kimmin just putting some great laps in there, and certainly carrying on where he left off, taking some wins.
Definitely a Dutch-French theme for sure, whether it was somehow on the podium, but the Dutch definitely making their domination known early on in the season and continuing through day 1 in Paris. And with the women, it is Elise Willoughby actually fighting for that lead, but still getting edged out by Laura Smulders. So that's 3 in a row for Elise Willoughby. Definitely consistent. And then again, Manon Valentino. So a Dutch-French trade-off in the women's elite in Paris.
Yeah, never seen anybody as excited as Manon Valentino to win a World Cup. She was absolutely overjoyed. And it was after that we moved off to the United States, Rock Hill, North Carolina, one of the most picturesque and scenic tracks on the circuit. But round number 1, it was all about Corbin Sherrar winning in front of the family, giving the little boy the lift into the air and keeping him happy. Nick Kimmin coming through to win day number 2. Normal service resumed. Alfredo Campo is actually a local at Rock Hill, working his way onto the podium with Dave van der Berg.
As it pertains to the women, Laura Smulders beginning with the lead this time, not having to pass Elise Willoughby for it, but Smulders with a strong win on day 1, and then again on day 2 going straight to the front in Rock Hill. Elise Willoughby in tow, but just not quite enough. So Laura Smulders continuing her domination through Rock Hill World Cup in the United States of America. Finally, we're heading down to Santiago del Estero for the last of the World Cups in 2019. Titles on the line. Gonzalo Molina just absolutely doing his best for the fans, as it shows with Gonzalo Molina taking his first win of the season on day 1.
Weren't those fans happy? They were so overjoyed. The noise level was absolutely insane. But on day number 2, Nick Kimmin, who went out in the quarterfinals the day before, certainly an uncharacteristic situation for him. He went back and took the win, and the Argentinian fans were equally happy for him. Elite women, Laura Smulders, just so consistent, so fast, so on point, going through and taking the win. Afromova, she had a few podiums through the season. Felicia Stansel in there as well. And look at the winners. Winners are grinners, as Jason says. And
there's your overall World Cup winners, Nick Kimmin and Laura Smulders.
We were James Palmer from Canada. James, so you spent the whole month this year training with Romain Mailloux down in Australia. How'd that come about?
Yeah, it just came about. Like, we were talking, we wanted to both come to Australia early, get some time on the tracks if we could, and get somewhere warm because we both live in a cold place. So being good friends, we just made plans to travel over.
Maybe explain to people what it's like having friends all over the world and you can just call them up and hang out. Like, he's from France, you're from Canada, obviously. Like, talk about how cool that is.
It's cool. It's different because most people go through high school, they stick with all their friends from high school, and then they see them when they're always home. But for us living on the road, like, we see our friends when we come to the races, so it's like you can just call up a friend pretty much from like any continent, it seems like, and just like make plans to go travel somewhere. So in the winter, I went and spent time with Carlos in South America. And then, yeah, I called up Romain from France, and we came here to Australia and got some time in Gold Coast, yeah.
I guess one of the coolest things about BMX is having friends all over the world and being able to do that kind of thing. I'm sure you guys train together on the track, but what did you guys get up to off the track?
To be honest, we went to the beach like every day. If anybody knows the Gold Coast, it's beautiful. So like every session between our sessions, we were at the beach, went for a swim, and then we checked out as many coffee spots as we could. Like new coffee spot every day. It was pretty fun.
How many acai bowls did you eat?
At least 3 a week. At least.
So getting to this weekend, how's the track? Obviously, it looks pretty technical in the second straight. It's not the biggest track, but it looks pretty peaky.
Yeah, I think it's really well built. I really like how it's built. The jumps are just really small. So you can see on the second straight from how I did on my 8th final, you got to be aggressive on the jumps because if you overshoot the first one or any of the jumps, it's really hard to get reset for the next one. So it makes it really technical. And the turns are also pretty flat. So you're not seeing anybody make big dive bomb moves right now. They're kind of tiptoeing through it. But like I said, the jumps are built well, so it's good to race on.
Obviously, you had a good build up to this race this weekend. You're here for a month, you trained here, but obviously it's the first race of the season, so you're obviously a lot of time not really sure where you stand up and all that kind of thing. Maybe explain to people listening what that's like, those nerves and that kind of thing heading into the season opener.
Stack up, like if really or not. To be honest, when I was training with Romain for the few weeks, we also had Joris there coming back from his injury. I was getting smoked in sprints. Like we rode flat pedals and I was getting smoked, and it was like I really didn't know if it was just because of the flats or if it was like I was just getting beat. And coming out to here, like I finally got back on the race setup, and things kind of felt good, and they've been clicking, and I don't feel like I'm getting smoked anymore, so it's good. But it's nervous the first time you get in the gate. Like you really have no idea what's going to happen.
Do you feel like training with people that maybe beat you in a lot of stuff helps you improve? Because I know when I was training, sometimes it's hard training with people that are faster than you, but in the long run, it's actually a good thing.
Yeah, I think big time, yeah, because you want someone to chase, kind of. And you see people nowadays, they have their groups of training partners, and I think it really helps. Like, no matter what, if you're having a good day or bad day, you have somebody to go after. And if you're having a bad day, you got somebody to boost you up a little bit and say, hey, like, we got to go, we got to keep training and keep pushing and stuff like that, yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, James, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Terry.
Back to you guys.
Always good to hear from James Palmer.
Yeah, always good. In case those of you at home were wondering, yes, his name is Tori Nyhog. However, his friends call him Terry.
And if you didn't know, James Palmer is the other half of the Coffee Chatter podcast with Terry/Tori.
Right.
So be sure to check that out wherever you get your podcasts from. They'll be grateful for the extra downloads. And we are back here in Shepparton in the state of Victoria in Australia. Just awaiting the commencement of the semi-finals. First up will be the elite women. Got a good mixture of riders in these upcoming semi-finals. Australia, the USA, Russia, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Colombia, Denmark, New Zealand, Great Britain. So truly an international lineup in the elite women's semi-finals. And there is your start list for the first semi-final. Sayers Kakibara, Brooke Crane, Natalia Aframova, Judy Bow, Felicia Stansel, Axel Etienne, Manon Valentino and Zoe Claessens. We'll take you to the top of the hill and introduce you to the riders one by one.
Up close and personal.
So you can check out your favourites and cheer them along wherever you may be in the world. The elite women just waiting for the instruction to line up in the gate. And first up, on the outside in gate number 8. Will be the rider from Switzerland. There she is on the 136 plate. Had a great junior career, moved on to the elite women category now and looking to make an impact. That is Zoe Claessens. Lane number 7 on the 971. Took 2 World Cup wins last season in Manchester and Paris. That's Manon Valentino. Next to her, lane number 6 on the 3 plate, number 3 in the Supercross rankings at the end of 2019. That's Axel Etienne. Lane number 5 on the 6 plate, the first of the USA riders lining up here in these semi-finals. That is Felicia Stansel. Next to Felicia on the 4 plate from the Netherlands. Took a win at Papendal last year. That is Judy Bow. Lane number 3 on the 116. Consistent podium maker last year. Made more than 3. I think it might have even been 4 from Russia. That is Natalia Aframova. On the 32 plate, the second of the USA riders in this semi-final. That is Insane Brooke Crane. And on the inside, on the 7 plate, took her first World Cup win at Santiago del Estero in 2018. It's Saya Sakakibara. Elite Women's semi-final number 1. They are lined up and ready to go. Here we go with elite semi-final number 1 for the elite women. Who's going to get the best start? Looks like Judy Bow's got a good one, but Saya Sakakibara on the inside is going to lead it into the turn. That looks like Axel Etienne working away across from the outside. So the French rider looking to work away into that second spot, but the Dutch rider holding on to it. But Saya Sakakibara checked out and gone. Is she going to give the Aussie fans what they want, Jason?
I think she is going to give the Aussie fans what they want. It's going to be Sakakibara, Bow, Etienne. Sakakibara, though, just running away with it to the last corner, followed by Bow. Valentino, I can't make out the 4th place position. Just Etienne just fighting to hold on to it. We'll see if there's a race there. It's going to be Bow, Valentino, and Etienne with the final 3 positions. As Stansel makes her way off the track. Looks like she went down in that first corner. Brooke Crane with a great move and then slid out, taking out her teammate. Not on purpose, but definitely unfortunate for the U.S. contingent in that semi-final.
Yeah, when Lady Luck doesn't smile on you, she doesn't smile on you at all, does she? Felicia, well enough to give a wave to the crowd.
We get ready for semi number 2. We're going to see.
And introduce those riders to you. 308 from New Zealand. will be out of gate number 8.
Rebecca Petch coming out of lane 8.
That'll be Rebecca Petch. Just waiting for the riders to get across the line and close off that first semi-final.
Waiting for the track to clear. There's your official. Sakakibara, Bao, Valentino, Axel Etienne. Axel Etienne, excuse me. We're going to meet the women in semi number 2. Pahone, Suvarova, Willoughby, Christensen, Smolder, Shriver, Reynolds, and Petch. The cameraman in front of lane 8. That will be the 308 of Rebecca Petch. It's the furthest outside she's been all day, but she has been having consistent good first straightaway, so we'll see if she can make it work from lane 8. The number 21 in lane 7, Lauren Reynolds. Home country crowd cheering loudly for her. The 911, Bethany Shriver, Team GB. The number 110 from the Netherlands, Laura Smolders. Taking a very relaxed road to Tokyo this year. Number 210, Simone Christensen from Denmark. Elise Willoughby, world champion from the United States of America. She'll be coming out of lane number 3. In lane 2, the 41 bike from Russia, Natalia Suvarova. Waving to the camera and the fans. And in lane 1, two-time Olympic gold medalist, the number 100, Mariana Pahone from Colombia. Don't let the smile fool you, as we are ready to go. Elite Women's Semi number 2. And we're official.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
And they're off down the hill. Looks like Willoughby off to a great start. Pahone on the inside, Smolders just outside, but Willoughby with the afterburners just taking it to the first turn. Smolders finding her. Whoa! Pahone with a little bit of a two-wheel drift in the first corner. Reynolds in 4th. She's shopping, but Willoughby looks to be running away with it all by herself with Smolders in tow.
Yeah, she's looking great in this one. Elise Willoughby, Laura Smolders right there into Mariana Pahone in 3, but Willoughby holding on to it into the turn, and it looks like Australia have worked their way into 4 now. So Reynolds looking like she's going to make the main. Is she going to hold it to the line? I think she is. Reynolds is in the main. Willoughby, Smolders, Pahone, Reynolds. That is your top 4. Christensen, Petch, and Shriver all out. And it looks like the Russian rider took a fall.
So some more exciting racing out of the lead women on that second semi-final. Round of applause.
So Natalia Suvarova's day is done. She'll be disappointed, but she's ridden very, very well today. There's your official result. Willoughby, Smolders, Pahone, and Reynolds all making their way through to the final.
Next time we see the women, it will be for the final, the main event, as there are 8 left. So they will all be lining up shortly as we take our attention to the men's elite semifinal. There's 16 left, only 8 fit on the gate, so 4th or better, 4 best riders from each heat qualify to the final. The remainder are eliminated. As we take a look at the replay, Sakakibara off to a great start. More than a bike length before she gets into the first corner above the rest of the crowd. Axel Etienne trying to file in tight. Judy Bao, or maybe that's Van Bentham.
Not creating too much headache for the riders.
or Judy Bao, excuse me, in second place. Axel Etienne and Manon Valentino holding on to that third and fourth place position. Smart line by Valentino, diving low at the last minute in that second corner to protect her position. But Sakakibara all by herself, she takes it to the finish line.
Yeah, that was a great lap from the Australian favourite, keeping the home crowd happy. As we moved on to semi-final number 2, Elise Willoughby battling with Mariana Pajon down that third straight, but just opening a bike length's lead as Laura Smulders just slotted into that second spot. Lauren Reynolds was back there in fourth at that time. That's where Natalia Suvarova's day ended as she tagged another rider's wheel. Reynolds was still there. Simone Christensen chasing her down. But it was this point the crowd probably knew that they would have 2 Australian riders in the Elite Women final. Simone Christensen wasn't done. She was going to have a go at Lauren Reynolds down that final straight. She couldn't make it stick. Elise Willoughby just taking the win from Laura Smulders. Mariana going through in 3. But next up, the Elite Men semis.
Graf, Andre, Pillard, Pelluard, Nagasako, Kennedy, Molina, and Clerté. That will be the first of the Elite Men semis. There's lane 8, the 8:15, young Eddie Clerté. Next to him, Gonzalo Molina from Argentina. Coming out of lane 6 from Australia, Isaac Kennedy, the Australian national champion. Next to him, the 993, that will be Yoshitaku Nagasako. Vincent Pelluard riding strong all day. He'll be coming out of lane number 4 for Colombia. Arthur Pillard, he's running the 130 bike, coming out of lane 3 from France. In lane 2, the number 3 bike, Sylvain Andre, 2018 world champion. Looking very serious this weekend. Coming lane number 1, the number 7, David Graf. After today, he will have only 11 races left in his career. As we are waiting for the starter to make it official. And we're a go. Arthur Pillard with a great start on the from lane 5. David Graf with the horsepower on the inside. Sylvain Andre taking advantage of the hole created in the inside. He's going to go from 4th to 2nd. Graf looking to run away with it. Pillard in 3rd place with Nagasako just outside of him. Let's see what happens, Rich.
Yeah, Graf's got this one on lockdown at the minute. Sylvain Andre in there in 2, but look at Nagasako. He's charging in there in 3, and there's a late charge coming through as well from Isaac Kennedy. Oh, Pelluard's unclipped and stuck his elbow in there. This is going to be a bizarre finish. Who's going to get it on the line? Isaac Kennedy gets the 4th. Andre, Nagasako, Kennedy, but Pelluard, old school, took the foot out, tried the bump and run. It didn't work.
Looks like Kennedy got through there pretty clean. Pelluard, you know, in my opinion, if he were to do that move, he should have committed to it a little bit harder, but I think he probably realized he didn't really have a move. But either way, that's your official Graf, Andre, Nagasako, and Kennedy. Pillard, Pelluard, Molina, and Clerté are done for the day.
And the excitement set to continue in the second Elite Men's semi-final. There's your start list: Nick Kimmon, Connor Fields, Anthony Dean, Jeremy Smith, Renato Rezende, Kyle Evans, Niles Bensing making his first World Cup semi-final, and Roman Meilloux from France. Be interesting to see how the gate selection goes down in this one. Lane number 8 from France. On the 100 plates, that is Roman Mayu.
On his inside, the number 12.
Next up on the 12, had a great day so far. He's been looking to continue and make his way to his first World Cup main if he can. That is Niels Bensink from the Netherlands. Next to him on the 211, out of Great Britain, it is Kyle Evans. Lane number 5 on the 500 plate, one of the biggest smiles in BMX for Brazil, Renato Rezende. Lane number 4 on the 259, doing it for the USA, out of Florida, Jeremy Smith. Next to him on the 44 plate, all power, all the time, doing it for Australia, Anthony Dean. Crowd definitely liking that one. On the 11 plates, your reigning Olympic champion out of the USA, Connor Fields. And on the inside, lane number 1, the red plate, the 313, the 2019 Supercross champion, Nick Kimmen. All silent for the start. And 8 of the greats have just left the gate. Looks like Connor Fields got a good snap, but Anthony Dean got a better one. And it's the hometown favourite, Anthony Dean out of Australia. He's going to lead them into the turn. Mayu, in there in 2. That's Nick Kimmen in there in 3. Connor Fields going through in 4. So all the power being laid down this second straight. Mayu just making a mistake, Jason.
Making a mistake. Well, watch Rezende. He's in 5th place. He's known to make some moves on these rhythm sections and last corners, but Fields looking to buy some insurance. He's going to find himself into 3rd place, and now Kimmen's fighting for 4th. Oh my gosh, Rezende catapults himself off the track. It's going to be Dean, Mayu, Fields, and Kimmen. Wow.
Wow, indeed. I didn't quite catch what happened and what caused Renato Rezende to make a spectacular exit to the left. But it's good to see him upright.
That was wild.
That was wild. But Anthony Dean certainly giving the home fans what they required in that one.
Definitely. I mean, you know, between all that heat, Kimmen and Fields and Mayhew, for Dean to win to that first turn, definitely a confidence booster, I'm sure, heading into the main event.
Yeah, especially when you've got Nick Kimmen on the inside of you rather than the outside.
Correct.
Just waiting for the official results, which will be with us momentarily. Certainly spectacular action right up to the end of these semi-finals. Kyle Evans unfortunate to go out in about 6th place, I think it was. Which is where Niels Bensink's day ended, but I'm sure he'll be pleased to get as far as the semi-finals for the first time in his career.
Alright folks, remember after racing tonight, 5 p.m. Victoria Lake Park, Shepparton Council putting on a shindig for all of the BMXers. It's the Bikes and Bikes Festival. If you're looking for somewhere to go at Shepparton.
There is your official confirmation. Anthony Dean taking the win. Roman Mayu into Connor Fields in 3. Nick Kimmen in 4. Smith, Evans, Bensink and Rezende done for the day. And we'll head towards the finals. And
next time we see the men, it'll be the Elite Men Final. But right now, we're going to get some rider interviews for even more insight to our great sport.
So Max, I'm going to put you in the hot seat. Who's the quickest mile? Who's the quickest female?
Look, it's basketball across, so anything can happen in the final. We know that we need too quick to call it on the day, and then someone comes out and then blows it out the water. But Anthony Dean looking very good
All right, we're here with Nick Long, veteran of the elite men's class. Coming to this year, it's your third time around for the Olympic qualification process. What's that like?
You know, we're not really looking at it like that. We're kind of just here to keep things going, and I just still enjoy the competition out here, and that's just still fun to me. You know, whether I make the Olympics or not, I really don't want to make the Olympic team and do a 50-second lap time. So, but to make it would be pretty awesome. We're just here having fun, really. Not snacking as much as I usually do, really. Just trying to stay fit, and you know, the gym stuff's all the same, the track stuff's all the same. Endurances, whatever, it's still the same lap times for the most part. So, you know, just general fitness and not getting fatter while getting older is is something I'm trying to keep an eye on. So,
What's something that is maybe unique about racing kids now coming up in the class that you saw maybe as young kids in the sport? And obviously you grew up in a different generation than a lot of these kids now in the class.
yeah, it used to be, you know, I'd get in the gate with people that I was looking up to, that I had, you know, photos on my wall of. Now I'm getting beat down the first straight by people I don't even know, and I'm like trying to look at their number, make sure I don't have them in my moto. But no, it's good. I like being friendly with all these guys and building friendships with everybody, all the new guys.
Are some of your best friends from BMX?
All my friends are from BMX. I have one friend from high school, and that's it. Everybody else is BMX. My wedding was probably 98% BMX, so, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Married man now. How is that with your wife now supporting you in racing?
Really, it's the same. You know, we've been together for almost 4 years, lived together for 3 of them. I couldn't imagine the way people used to like get married and then move in together and then try to learn everybody, like your little syncrasies. That would be insane to me. So it's the same, and the only thing that's different is you feel a little more secure, I guess. She can't just walk away whenever she wants.
What's something that you do that drives Lindsay crazy?
Tickle her. She absolutely hates it, and I can't just control myself. I'm sitting there watching TV. I gotta be like, ooh. I can't do it, and she hates it.
Thanks for your time, Nick. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Well, Nick Kimmon looking a lot more. Nick Long.
Nick Long.
Right, close enough.
Nick Long going long, going long with Nick Long. He's still competitive. One of the elder statesmen.
Do you know what? He looks super relaxed. He looks like he's enjoying himself so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you need at this level of the sport. You need a level of enjoyment. Maybe Nick is coming to the end of his career, and he's kind of realised it, and he's trying to maximise every single moment. But good on him. As we go back and look at the semi-finals for elite men, I do like David Graff's pick up on that pickup manual onto that.
Isaac Kennedy was in 8th place going into that last corner, and then made it happen down this between the 2nd and 3rd straightaway. Graff, though, very strong, and Kennedy leaping into qualifying position.
Still props to Vincent Pelleward for taking his foot out and trying to make the move. Moving on, semi-final number 2. Anthony Dean got an absolute fly, but May was right there with him.
Oh, yeah. Mayhews probably has the fastest times down the hill, for sure.
But certainly with Anthony Dean and Sayasa Kakibara being absolutely on point today, these Aussie fans must be excited to think, do you know what, we might have a winner here.
And then here we go, Resende with the last-ditch effort and just boosts himself off. Still don't know exactly how that happened.
Did he get unclipped or unweighted as he hit the jump? I don't know. Be interesting to find out his take on it, that's for sure. But the next race up will be the Elite Women Final, containing 2 Aussies, 2 French, 2 Dutch, a Colombian and an American. Certainly 2 of those riders having standout days so far.
Yeah.
Be an interesting duel in the final. It'll always also be very interesting to see how the lane pick scenario goes. As we approach the end of racing here at Shepparton, day 1, round 1, the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup 2020 in the beautiful state of Victoria in Australia, specifically in Shepparton.
Looking at the lineup for the elite women, Saya Sakakibara, Elise Willoughby, Laura Smulders, all on that 36-second time frame. Saya with the fastest time of 36.222.
Yeah, she's 4/10 faster, nearly, than Elise Willoughby. Where do you think that 4/10 actually comes from? Do you think it's down the first straight, or do you think it's a sensible line choice further around?
I think it's the rest of the track.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much second turn on.
Yeah.
The beginning of the second turn on.
I think there's definitely a key, more for the men than the women, but a key factor is just getting that second straight completely smooth. Because as James Palmer was saying earlier on, it's very difficult to get it right. The fact it is almost small for them, and the speeds that they're going makes it a lot more technical.
Right.
And obviously riders like Brandon Tahiko and Max Kearns have had their problems there today. So it'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. But certainly 2 very exciting finals coming up here at Shepparton. Probably the most exciting 2 finals we've had for a while. Just based on the fact that we're at a new venue. And there's kind of no history to play with. You go to Papendal and you know Nick Kimmon's always going to be there or thereabouts.
Right.
You go to Rock Hill, Corbin Chirard's going to be there or thereabouts. If you go to Manchester, one of the British riders is going to be there or thereabouts. But this is like a complete unknown.
Yeah.
Which is what I like about it.
Yeah, that's kind of a, I won't say fair, but definitely unproven. Unproven, and it's definitely levels the playing field a bit more since no one has really been here to race before.
Yeah, and then you've got the added complications, shall we say, of flatter than normal turns and bit of a slidey surface.
Yeah, I think some of the old and mid-school BMX people will appreciate that.
So it's not as predictable as it normally is, and I think some of the early results have shown that as well. Caroline Buchanan going out in the quarters. Normally you'd have put Caroline at least in the main event all day long. But the fact you've got 2 Aussies in the elite women final and 2 Aussies in the elite men final certainly gives the home crowd something to shout about and builds the odds, shall we say, in their favour a little bit.
Well, if you are joining us or just tuning in, did you pick the right time? Because there are only 2 races left, and those are the finals. The main events are coming up. shortly for both elite men and elite women at the UCI BMX Supercross World Cup in Shepparton, Australia. As you can see from this great shot, the clouds are rolling in, so it might change some weather conditions. We will see. There was a hint of rain in the forecast.
Look at that. That lady there wearing an old school Colombian cycling jersey. That's certainly late 80s, early 90s.
Definitely.
We like a bit of retro. The clouds are starting to roll in. We were due some thunderstorms around about 4 p.m. So the timing of the finals is pretty much perfect. You can get them done and dusted. Because I can't imagine what those turns must be like wet.
Yeah, so heading up the women's elite women's start list for the final. Sakakibara, Reynolds, Willoughby, Smolders, Pahone, Bao, Etienne, and Valentino. Each person picking their lanes based on their times from the previous lap. So the strategy begins before the gate even drops.
Well, that is an interesting gate scenario. Just looking at the way they're lining up there.
Yeah. What do you see, Rich?
I see 2 Aussies on the inside. Right, lining up gate number 8. From France, won 2 World Cups last year, Manon Valentino. Lane number 7, her compatriot on the 3-plate, top 3 in the Supercross rankings for 2019, Axel Etienne. Next to her on the 4-plate, out of the Netherlands, took a win at Papendal last season, that is Judy Bao. Next to her on the 100, double Olympic champion, the Queen Bee of BMX, that is Mariana Pahon. On the 110, the World Cup champion of 2019, Laura Smolders. Lane number 3, wearing the rainbow stripes out of the USA, the world champion, Elise Willoughby. And on the inside, lane number 2, the first of the Australian finalists on the 21 plate, it is Lauren Reynolds. Big cheers from the crowd here. And in gate number 1, on the inside, running the 7 plate, she's been flying all day long, Saya Sakakibara. So the elite women final here at Shepparton, lining up round number 1, the 2020 UCI BMX Supercross World Cup. Australia, lanes 1 and 2. And this is it, Australia's big chance for a win. Saya Sakakibara and Elise Willoughby are battling down the first straight. Willoughby's on the inside, heading towards turn number 1. Looks like she's going to pick up a whole shot, but Sakakibara is right there with her. So that's Laura Smolders in there, in 3, Elise Willoughby leading it out, but she's under pressure from Sakakibara, Jason.
She is under pressure. Sakakibara working these turns, working this track. Willoughby wants a win. She definitely shut her down the first straight. We'll see what happens down the last straight, but Smolders now looking to make a move. Not enough there, as Smolders is now in trouble, but it's going to be Willoughby to the line with the win, followed by Sakakibara and Pahone and Smolders. Photo finish, I'm not going to call that, but wow, what a great race.
Yeah, it was a definite drag race down that first straight between Saya Sakakibara and Elise Willoughby. Willoughby just moved over slightly, just gave herself the requisite amount of room to take the lead into that first turn. It was always going to be difficult from there on in to bring it back. But the American rider, the world champion last year, taking her first win of 2020 and doing it in some style. But Saya Sakakibara was so close. Reynolds ended up about 6th, I think. taking the applause from the crowd. She's got the rainbow stripe. She's the world champion. Wears them for a reason.
Well, you know, I also got to think that the country of Australia has some love for Elise Willoughby.
Yes, definitely. I was thinking
well.
that myself.
You can see one side of her helmet with the green and gold. Of course, the other side with the red and blue also happens to coincide nicely with the World Championship stripes. But there's your official. Willoughby, Sakakibara, Pahone, Smulders, Reynolds, Bao, Valentino, and Etienne.
So, first blood, as they say, to the USA. And here's the replay. Saya got a decent start. Elise got a better one. Lauren just didn't get what she required. Laura had moved away up into that third spot. Mariana back there in 4. And I think if Laura had picked a different line in that final turn, she'd have been on the podium. I don't suppose she'll be too disappointed. Manon Valentino was back there in 5, so Laura Smulders was looking for a way through. She was looking to benefit from this drag race here that was going on between Saya. She saw Saya had left the door open, just tried to go underneath, couldn't quite make it stick. Meanwhile, Elise had taken the win. Saya was in there in 2, and Mariana took advantage and took that final podium spot.
Elise Willoughby talking to the crowd. Crowd happy with what they heard. Let's see, maybe she may get a word in with Tori.
Those clouds are definitely rolling in now.
Last year on this race, so to have it all come together and work out as well as it did today, and honestly, yeah, it was tough, it was hard, there was a lot of challenging things that way, but didn't really miss a beat all day, and I'm really pleased with it.
What's it like to win here in Australia with Sam here with you and in front of a crowd that's very supportive of you?
Yeah, I've had so many people like essentially welcome me as their own here, and I joke I'm carrying the Aussie last name, and my helmet even with the world's colors, one side's got red and blue and one side's got green and gold, so I'm a little bit of each, and it's been awesome to be here. And the last time we raced here was in 2009 for the Worlds in Adelaide, where Sam took a junior world title, so it's been a while, and I guess there will be still have success here. And actually, funnily enough, this specific track, Sam won the Nationals here, and the first time we got here, he said, I am 2-0 at this track, so you better not let me down.
Good job today, Elise. Congratulations, enjoy it, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Tori. Yeah, he's like, no pressure. I'm like...
2-0 here, by the way.
Well, Willoughby's now 3-0 at this track. Way to step it up, Elise. Guess what, Rich?
What's that, Jason?
We have the Elite Men final. Yet,
Whoa.
just in a few moments. I believe we're going to see the women get their awards before that.
Certainly the protocol here just needs to be followed. We're just going to have the flower ceremony for the Elite Women Final. Says Kakibara. Looking not disappointed, but I'm sure she'll be thinking in the head, could have been. Yeah. Mariana in 3. Big smiles as always. Queen Bee of BMX, as we refer to her. There we go. Smiling for the fans, giving them a wave.
And in first place, representing the United States of America, Elise Willoughby. Congratulations and well done. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make our way back for the elite men's final.
There's your start list for the men's elite. Dean Graff Fields, Andre Nagasako, Kimman, Kennedy, and Mayhew. Congratulations, Yoshitaku Nagasako, getting in the final.
Yeah.
Long time coming.
I'm sure he'll be stoked whatever the result is after this one.
Yeah.
Shepparton men's elite final. Huge result in the women's. If we weren't going to get an Australian winning, I think that's probably our next best thing. She's an adopted
Crowd definitely having something to shout about in this elite men final with Isaac Kennedy and Anthony Dean both lined up.
That's it. We're going to meet the players. Number 100 coming out of lane 8 from France, Romain Mayhew. Laying down some heater first straightaways. Next to him, the young Isaac Kennedy from Australia, the Australian national champ. He'll be coming out of lane number 7. In lane 6, Nick Kieman. Coming out of lane 5 from Japan, the 993, Yoshitaku Nagasako. Come out of lane number 5. Sylvain Andre with the 3 on his plate. He's in lane 4, saying it's time, it's race time. He's ready to go. Connor Fields, your 2016 Olympic gold medalist from the United States of America. The double number 1, number 11. Connor Fields looking to get on the podium. David Graff, number 7, coming out of lane 2 for Switzerland. And on the inside of him, the double 4, 44, Anthony Dean, coming out of lane number 1 for Australia.
Crowd definitely went wild then.
And we are official, the last race of the day. Elite men final. Everybody off to a clean start. Connor Fields shutting down Graff early on. Dean on the inside, but looks like Kimman coming over from the outside, lane 6, I believe. Isaac Kennedy looking for that top 3 position, but it's going to be Dean filing into second with Kennedy behind him. Kimman in front. Dean, Kennedy, Fields looking for a way in. Let's see what happens, Rich.
Yeah, this is going to be an intense last 2 straights. Nick Kimman of the Netherlands leading it out. Isaac Kennedy back there in 3. Anthony Dean in 2. If they got anything for the Dutchman, Dino's putting down the turbochargers. Here comes Isaac Kennedy. Looks like Kimman's got it at the line. Kimman, Dean, Kennedy. Australia going 2 and 3. Connor Fields in 4. Sylvain Andre in 5. But Nick Kimman turning it on when it counted.
Wow.
What a lap from Nick Kimman.
What a lap from Nick Kimman. Isaac Kennedy's only been in 2 Supercross main events. Both of them finds himself on the podium.
Goodness.
Anthony Dean consistent as ever with a second place finish.
The Australian fairy tale, the big Dutchman himself, Nick Kimman, awesome result.
Nick Kimman gonna go say hi to the crowd. Victory lap.
Nick Kimman, all the way from the Netherlands, literally was untouchable in 2009.
I mean, looking at Nick in the early rounds, it looked like he's had his problems. Certainly didn't seem to be firing, but there's only one lap that you really need to win, and it's the last one of the day. I'm sure Nick will be absolutely delighted with that, because that is the sign of a true champion. Even if the early part of the day doesn't go your way, it's keeping your composure, it's keeping your power, it's keeping your speed, and it's keeping your mentals in order.
That's right. There's your official. Kimman, Dean, Kennedy, top 3, followed by Fields, Andre, Nagasako, Graff, and Mayhew.
Well, I'm not going to put a time time frame on it, but it's quite a while.
In a while, that's for sure. But if you follow the Supercross World Cup, you know that it's a game of absolute milliseconds. And today, everything just seemed to go right for both Anthony and Isaac. And congratulations to those guys. But the man out of the track, Nick Kimmon, we marvelled at his.
The great thing is for Isaac Kennedy and Anthony Dean, they get to come back tomorrow and have another go.
They do.
And well-deserved winner today.
He didn't get his lane 8 pick. He actually didn't qualify high enough to get his normal lane 8 pick. Come out of lane 6, but used exactly the same format. A big run.
Nick Keeman's using the track as this cool down lap for the cool down. I'm sure if he were to go off the track, there'd be too many people around him.
He's going to have a chat with Max.
For the crowd, for the crowd. We'll have our opportunity to talk with him when he talks to Tori. Hear from him, excuse me.
The boys were coming at you. You managed to pull it off. You must be stoked.
Yeah, I was all over the place today. It started off well, then just had so many mistakes. I think the first race of the year, it's always like gotta get back into it a little bit. And also I struggled with how much I had to eat, also the heat. Like I actually threw up before the main. I told my coach, like, I'm gonna do a game that from behind, I'm just gonna stop. And then I got out and probably best one. Yeah, I had in 3 months of training, so wasn't in front, and it's good enough to hold the lead.
Great racing today from Isaac Kennedy and Anthony Dean. I mean, they were incredible today for Australia.
Yeah, like the Aussies were on 5. First in the 116s, I think. Sakakibara beat me. Dino beat me in the semi. But yeah, luckily I was good enough in the main.
All right, let's get across to Tori now. A quick chat. Hopefully we can beat the rain here. And let's have a get ready for that flower ceremony immediately afterwards. Thank you.
So it looks like Nick Keeman get a replay of this wonderful lap. Keeman in control from start to finish. Dean and Kennedy taking up a lot of track space behind Keeman. Anything you notice, Rich?
Yeah, it was just that, Nick pulled it out of the bag when it counted. He's by his own admission then from his chat with Max, he said he wasn't feeling particularly good all day long, and somehow he's managed to put it together in the main. And I think those wins are kind of some of the most satisfactory ones that you can possibly have when nothing's going your way and then it comes good at the end. But the Australians, Isaac Kennedy, almost disappointed there.
Winner of the season opener here in Australia. Tell me what you did, man.
Yeah, like the first race of the year is always the most nervous one. Doesn't matter if it's a World Cup or just a local indoor. I feel like the first race I always have to kind of back into the racing routine again. And it's the same. That's exactly how I race. Like I started off good, mistakes in the 116, good 1.8, good quarter, mistakes in the semi. But everything was just good enough to win the main. And I just love racing main events. I like it when there's something on the line. Like in the event, the level is so high, even in the 116, it's hard. But I struggle to motivate a little bit because there's nothing on the line in the 116. So a lot of times the earlier rounds are the toughest ones for me. But yeah, that's really to start a season like this. Repeat that in Dutch. De eerste wedstrijd van het jaar is altijd gewoon moeilijk. Het maakt niet uit of de wereldbeker is of een kleine lokale wedstrijd in de buurt. Je moet er altijd weer even aan het ritme komen. En ja, zo ging de hele dag ook. Het begon goed, maar ik maakte gewoon heel veel fouten. En, ja, het was niet echt steady. Maar ja, op een of andere manier kwam ik in de finale. Ik ben 4,5, dus ik ging eigenlijk maar net door. Maar de finale, ik moest kotsen voor de finale in de hitte. En altijd eerst van ja, een beetje zoeken met wat je moet eten tussendoor. Ik ben even de routine vinden. Dus voor de finale zei ik dit dan ook bij Raymond van ik ga gewoon proberen hard te starten. Als ik er niet bij zit, kap ik gewoon. En ik kwam uit de plank en ik kwam meteen de fiets los. Perfect timing, Kevin.
Podium Matmena, podium Matmena.
Kennedy, Connor Fields, the standings. Keeman, Dean, Kennedy, Fields, Andre, Nagasako, Graf, Mayhew. Followed by Pillard, Smith, Evans, Pelluard, Bensink, Molina, and Claerte and Resende, rounding out the top 16. Women's standings go Willoughby, Sakakibara, Pahone, Smolders, Reynolds, Bao, Valentino, and Etienne. Nine through 16 are Afremova, Christensen, Claesens, Petch, Shriver, Stansel, Crane, and Suvarova. So, looks like the races just got finished in time as we see the rain pouring down on the track. Definitely want to congratulate.